Great. Welcome to the German Village Commission meeting from March 4th, 2026. The next meeting is March 18th. Next business meeting is March 18th, 2026 at 12 p.m. in this room, 205 at 111 North Front Street. Next hearing will be April 1st, Wednesday, 2026 at 4 p.m. again at 111 North Front Street, second floor, room 204 next door. Can I swear the staff? Do you swear to tell the truth and whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do, Kimberly Bernard Sheehan.
Thank you very much. Introduction to Commissioner, starting on my left.
Rachel Schultz. Lofty Bond. Karen McCoy.
Thank you much. Persons wishing to address the commission on matters not posted on the agenda are invited to do so. Or if the commission is not able to understand extended discussions, unable to undertake extended discussions or act on non-agenda items. The communication should be kept at 30 minutes limit. If you have to speak to anything, please fill out a public speaking slip and give it to the HPS staff. Approval of staff approvals. Are there any recusals?
None for me.
Promotion?
Move to first staff approvals. Ratify the staff approvals.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Staff approvals are ratified. Approval of the meeting minutes from February 4th. Is there a motion to approve?
Move to ratify.
Cool. Second?
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? There are none. Minutes are approved. Let's start with application COA 2501241 267 Reinhardt Avenue. No. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
And your state your name, please.
Evan Little.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, this application is for landscaping to demolish the existing wood deck and fence, replace the fence in the same footprint with a 6-foot tall wood privacy fence, and install a new roof over a new patio and wood stairs for the playroom. Staff has included the commissioner comments from the now approved February 4th, 2026 German Village Commission hearing minutes, as well as the comments from the December 2025 German Village Commission hearing. The applicant has revised the design based on the commission's feedback to alter the proposed roof to be flat and cover both the window and door. Staff recommends approval of the application with any and all clarifications submitted to HPO staff for review prior to issuing the certificate. Basis for staff recommendation is City Code 3116.11, new standards for alteration, specifically 2, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, and 12. As well as City Code 3116.13, these standards for site improvements, specifically A and B, as well as the German Village guidelines regarding walks, sidewalks, driveways, patios, and parking lots, and the German Village guidelines for fences and walls.
Do you have anything to add, or what would you like to discuss?
Just that we tried to accommodate what you're asking for. We dropped it below that molding detail. We're gonna just attach the Z flashing to the first mortar joint, like maybe an inch and a half down from it, and we'll have a good 4 or 5 inches before the top of the rubber roof. And then we have a triple beam, so it's triple 2x8, so it's a little shorter, and where it lines up with the brick, that's also a little advantageous, so it'll be a little less, it's gonna get cut out. There is a kind of like a ledger board, another beam on the interior side of the building that will also need to be fastened to the masonry. And then hopefully the extra width covering the doorway, which makes more sense, and the width kind of handles the scale because it is tall. So I think we trying to address most of what they're asking for, hopefully. That's enough.
Issues?
I do appreciate the changes that were made. And I think it actually balances out the operation really nicely architecturally. So
Yeah.
I do think it's a better location. The fact that it is under an architectural element that we wanted to, see maintained. And I do actually prefer the wider, because I think it falls, the proportion falls better below the existing architectural detail. So I would say the west elevation as proposed is the preferred version for me. I agree with that as well.
So I have a question on the beam pocket, because you are cutting into the existing masonry to do that.
Yeah,
Is there some way of doing that without creating the pockets in the masonry?
sorry, you said there's no way of,
Is there some way of doing that without cutting pocket beams into the existing masonry?
only having another column on the pilaster maybe on the inside,
Could you
but
not put a ledger board across the face of the masonry and tie it into that?
the rafters are so short, you know, they won't span very far. And yeah, it means because of the height and everything, we need another beam going across the top of the 2x8 beams coming out. To sandwich everything into that little space.
Yeah, but I'm guessing, because you got a 3 detail beam.
There's only three is.
But to me, I think if we can do it without cutting into the existing masonry, I mean, we worry about little drill holes in the mortar joints.
I know. Good job.
This is about the greatest.
I can vouch, she really is trying to.
Sheet, E6. Say two, but one more break line. And break the-
Yeah.
Yeah, right here. So you're pocketing this 2x8 LVL beam into the
Yeah,
masonry.
we're ripping the rafters on top of it to pitch the slope of the roof.
Got that? Yep. Why can you not put a ledger beam down here on the face of the brick?
We'll be cutting off the top of the arch of the window. Yeah,
You can't just run it by it, or,
it would look weird.
well, on top of it, I mean, you can put that ledger bolt up, you could bolt it in through the masonry at a joint, with a couple of joints, 12 inches on center, 15 inches on center, whatever you need to do, and break it at the window.
I mean, aesthetically, we could do it the same way, I guess is what you're saying.
Yep.
Yeah, if that ledger board is running across,
Up here,
yeah,
just
potentially.
use those. I mean, you could use a hanger off of those.
Keep it up, it's just where that window comes
Yeah.
across is that's what's causing us to try
I
and
get that, and I appreciate that. I would just, if you can just put a ledger board in, that one there, and break it at the window, I get why you want to do it that way,
Yeah.
or you can just make it up there.
Yeah, I was trying to, I mean, it's as high, it's like as low as it could possibly.
Yeah, I get it, yeah.
It just barely fits in the way it does, but,
I'd rather have
we
you,
could probably figure out a different detail.
I'd rather have you lag it fold into the joints,
Yeah,
rather
Okay.
than cut holes in the masonry.
yeah,
Or
that's
so, we're very.
easier for us, well.
Yeah, okay. All right, so with that modification, then I had, how you handling the drainage on this? I didn't say downspouts or gutters.
There's one,
I didn't see-
right where the brick steps out.
Okay, and you're taking it back to the house and then down on a downspout?
Yeah, there's an existing downspout where the addition starts in that little corner where
Okay,
it fits in.
Gotcha.
Like see,
with the addition, okay,
see it on page 3 on the image in the bottom left. And we were gonna tie into that and
okay,
run it around, or just have a second one on the left side.
on that, okay.
Just tie into the existing drain tile.
And the only other thing, I think I understand what the extent of the fencing is.
Yeah,
So it goes from front all the way up to the street existing now.
Yeah.
Get that, your father doing with that, grandfather doing with that. I would like you to show on your drawings for staff, better denote how that is. You're just
Okay.
doing a dotted line, I can't tell if that's property line,
Oh,
but just for the record,
yeah,
so a heavy line, this is where the new fence goes.
yeah.
It's where the old one is, the new one goes, and the last post out the street, can you get that behind the retaining wall?
It's Patrick Street, turning everything, picking out in front of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know how that happened, but.
4. Scroll down just a tab.
Yeah. that'd be-
Yeah,
It's actually a little closer, but can, you- whatever that, but you
I
might.
can't remember what that looks like right there.
Very odd. Okay, very odd. I went to Street View.
I don't know how the brick will finish if it's pulled back behind the retaining wall, but,
I think the top of the wall's
we
finished.
can probably.
I think they
figure it
just
out.
put the fence down over it and then
You want it all the way back behind.
behind the retaining wall, yeah. I don't think it's sitting on top of the sidewalk.
Okay, yeah, not an ideal spot.
Yeah, and I don't think it's even structurally,
Yeah, the posts at these stairwell there are also pretty rotted out. So I was gonna come back and ask to
under,
repair those the way they are. Yeah,
is this part of the, I thought this was part of the replacement.
sorry, not that, at the stairwell up into the front.
Oh, okay, gotcha, okay.
I'll
Yeah.
come back for that.
Yeah.
later.
Those are the only things I request.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Okay, good, thank you.
Do you want to?
Yeah, motion as, the applicant modified.
For COA 2501-241 for 267 East Reinhardt.
Right, yep,
Yeah, Reinhardt Avenue. I move to approve as the applicant has something that with a change to instead of pocketing the beams into the brick masonry, to have a detail of a electric board installed on them. And the fence to be pulled back to the base of the existing stone wall.
second, all in favor, say aye. Opposed, none? CO's approved modification.
Recommendations.
Thank you, we appreciate your effort.
Yeah. Thank you.
Item number 2, which is COA 2501368 Lansing Street. We have 242, we have 242. Gentlemen, raise your right hands. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
State your names, please.
This is Mariucci. Rick Koenig.
Thank you, sir.
This application is for an interior building alteration regarding the siding to remove the existing Dutch lap wood siding in front of our home and install new James Hardie plank cedar mill siding of 5-inch reveal in the color bay blue, and new James Hardie trim in the color cobblestone. Staff has included the commissioner comments from the February 4th, 2026 German Village Commission hearing. In 1992, the property received a CLA to build a new addition on the north side of the home, as well as to replace windows and restore the existing siding. It appeared the addition was built with deep groove siding to delineate from the original home. Property received another CLA in 2018 to repair and replace the existing wood siding and trim. Current owner was recently approved for window replacement in 2023 under CLA number GB-23-10-012 with new trim being installed as well. HBO staff conducted a site visit of the siding on January 8th. Staff noted that the siding on the side elevations is in good condition with no replacements needed. Some boards appear to be checking it after further evaluation. It appears to be a surface material point. The front elevation, on the other hand, has been mostly replaced with the new Dutch lap siding over time. The staff had informed the owner that the office would recommend repair or replacement of any kind, and none of the furniture installed on the home did not have a drip edge piece installed above the top casing board, which is typically tucked underneath the bottom of the siding to seal the top edge. Flat on the casing. Board and create a proper water runoff. This could cause an area of moisture to travel behind the casing and cause deterioration of the siding. Additionally, the staff informed the owner that the commission had recently not been in favor of the Hardy-Board product for the historic properties since it did not age well and it's tended to warp and bow, and that the commission has seen that no products replace such a floral or LP siding or cementitious material. The applicant has submitted an updated inspection by MA Home Inspections for the March hearing. Staff recommends approval of the application with the condition that to replace the front elevation with new Dutch lap siding to know 46 in profile and maintain the historic Dutch lap siding on the side elevations and use some material from the front elevation for any repair needed on the side and then replaced with the new wood Dutch lap siding to match. Basis for staff recommendation, City Code 3116/2011, the standards for alterations, specifically 2, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, and the German village guidelines for siding.
So just to clarify your recommendation, it's replace all of the front street siding with new wood Dutch lap siding
Yes,
and use that material that's salvageable to repair the other siding on the other sides.
correct.
Okay, but there's two different siding exposures. There's one that's a double bead, and there's the, on the front, there's the single.
You're right. Yeah, so I know the front has been previously replaced.
Both of them, yeah, and then the back is an addition.
Okay,
Okay, so just, you want to think about that for a minute?
probably a couple minutes.
Okay,
But I will default to the commission.
All right.
As well as I'm getting back in our feet.
okay, excellent. Gentlemen, comments, discussion?
Yeah, so I guess I distilled our last hearing into two things I needed to follow up on. One was, it sounded like the commission would be willing to entertain the proposal if the majority of the siding needed to be replaced and that you wanted a independent assessment of that fact. And so I have that, and that's what you see here, uploaded to the case. I also have Rick Phoenix here, is a representative of James Hardy Corporation, to hopefully convince you that their product would be suitable and durable for replacing on this home.
So now we need to discuss your findings by MA inspections.
Okay.
And can you give us a synopsis of that?
Yeah, his synopsis was, I believe the verbiage in there says the majority of the siding would need to be replaced because it is in a decayed state. And the deterioration could cause water intrusion, pest intrusion, etc.
And that was on both structures?
Yeah.
You're gonna try to convince us to do something we don't do anymore.
Yep.
So I'll let you go at it.
Yeah, so, the reason why I'm here really to educate, the commission on what James Hardy is. So the product, is engineered for climate. So there's three main buckets where we stand out compared to a wood side. One is gonna be, Mother Nature. So James Hardy, engineered for climate, is gonna withstand and, hold up during the different season changes that we have here in Ohio. On top of that, fire, so non-combustible, is a huge selling point, especially if there's, those homes. James Hardy meets requirements, that make the product non-combustible. Pests are a big one as well. There are no cement peckers, that we have to worry about. So insects, wood bees, really the big component here is that engineered for climate, you have a 30-year warranty on all our products. You're not gonna have the swelling, the checking, or any of the issues you would deal with for wood siding, when you use James Hardy fiber cement. And then Color Plus, if you're using Color Plus, you can plan to use that. So that's a baked on pre-finished product that's heated up. with multiple coats, and it also comes with a 15-year warranty.
You have a little bit more history on some of the test cases.
Yeah. I want to clarify one thing up in the application. There were two suggestions. One was floral, and what was the other one?
The LP siding,
Yeah, is that,
Wood siding.
in that, okay, that's not the high end.
No,
Okay.
that's
All right.
like OS.
Oh, it's,
Maybe.
yeah, okay. Okay. So it's gonna be up to the commission to decide what they want to do about hardy in this application or not.
Yep.
We did an assessment, let me say 5 years ago. We allowed hardy on garages.
Mhm.
Certainly have never allowed it on historic building.
Okay.
Maybe an addition, but not even that I'm aware of. I think we might have one test case with the high end hardy and maybe one with the floral. Yeah, and I'm all for not sticking with natural wood, which is what's been the thing.
Yeah,
But we're looking for a product that, is as good as, I'm gonna say this, as the resilience and sustainability in lifetime expectancy of typically cedar lap siding.
okay,
So at the time the commissioners went around, we had a list of addresses to go to. And we looked at the hardy as panels, vertical siding, if I remember rightly, and horizontal. And before that time, we had absolutely insisted that it be installed on, I think, 3/4 ply, if not, it was at least a half.
okay,
Because it was sagging and weaving and reflecting what the stud work was behind it.
okay,
So we asked for the plywood back. I think from the assessment that we did, we decided hardy was not going to meet our needs because it was chipping, it was sagging even under those circumstances, and just wasn't looking good, wasn't holding up.
Yep.
And I think that's why we've taken that position with hardy gold.
yeah, and I think, a lot of that falls back on, making sure that the installer meets our, critical to quality details. Since we have a 30-year warranty that's non-prorated, it's actually the best in the industry compared to all other cladding options. Because we'll hold that warranty for the life of that 30 years. And really that covers off on a manufactured defect.
A manufactured defect, but doesn't
Yeah.
cover labor.
Well, it will cover labor if we find that there's an issue with the product.
With the product,
Yeah.
right, but not with the installation.
Correct.
And
Yes,
we're not sure that isn't where the problem's at, but we haven't had that problem with Boral in other products.
yeah.
The Boral's bigger, so that's kind of where we've been at with that.
Mhm.
I think the other thing, Ned, we had instances where it was installed board and batten, it performed better in the vertical
Oh, yeah.
application.
Yeah. A lot
It
of our,
did not perform well in the horizontal or the panel. The panel, we have one panel system in the city, in the village, it just.
a lot of that it falls back on attachment too.
Yeah.
You mentioned the wavy, if the studs aren't straight, you don't have proper sheathing for attachment, and the board's gonna lay to the, follow the wall. So that's a big component.
And we have no control over that, commission doesn't,
Yeah.
but we do have controls over materials.
Yeah, so that was the whole purpose of today is
Yeah,
educate around the durability of James Hardie being the #1 siding company in North America, as well as having the best warranty. For over 10 million homes in the US, we have a strong proof source of the product being durable. The big component too is really that non-combustibility. When you
Yeah.
think about protecting your home, you're putting siding up, that's not gonna have flame impingement, heaven forbid something happens. Not to mention the pests, so obviously what would be confusing is why LP would be considered over hardy. Because that's opens up everything between fire, pests, and then the swelling and cracking.
which is what we've had for 200 years in the village,
Right.
so that's not new.
Yeah,
That's
So I-
not new.
at the very least, I would think you'd consider removing that, but also make a strong consideration for hardy. And then I know you have a good installer as well with that deal, I think we provided, who's an elite preferred contractor for James Harding as well.
So I am at this point not comfortable with going with Hardy because of our history.
Mhm.
I certainly would invite you to having a meeting with HBO and getting members of this commission and maybe other commissions, I don't know where the other commissions stand on Hardy, and making your case.
Yep.
And what can be incorporated into an application that would ease our concerns about that. Now, you're looking at putting Hardy on a historic structure. Absolutely. God, Lord knows where the alignment of those studs are. So that's another issue.
Just a quick question too, with the consideration of Boral, what are some of the components that would factor in, that Boral has that Hardy doesn't?
It's a thicker and heavier material than what standard Hardy is, from my understanding. It doesn't weave back and forth across the studs and it doesn't sag, but it is the same material type as Hardy. I think that's the big difference that we've had between the two.
So it's a thickness.
It's a thickness,
Yeah.
which I think,
And I think there was a recent applicant who came in with a thicker version of Hardy.
Yeah, so
For
make
filing
mine, which is
3/4.
thicker. Yeah,
which we approved for a test case, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
if not, has recommended it.
So the properties of that material are the same as the normal material. It's just a different thickness.
right.
You have structures that set up, assuming you have a structure that sets up,
Right.
there should be no concern with the performance and durability of the product and backed with a 30-year warranty.
Yeah. So I don't think we're against your premium product,
Mhm.
just not happy with what's in this, what's being proposed in this application. So that being said, you want to amend your application? Well, I can take a straw vote and say, ask the commission how they feel about accepting your MA inspection report, which calls for replacing all the siding to match the existing profiles.
Mhm.
Which I support. Or how they feel about approving this with the standard party board. Or to give you guidance on how you may want to proceed.
Sure. If I may give my rationale, because you're probably all wondering, like, well, why don't you just pick Artisan? Why don't you just pick Boral?
Yeah,
Those will become prohibitively expensive for me for this project, right? It's another 10 to maybe even $20,000 to go with those products. Hardy artisanal is only primed, and so it's another whole step to have the house painted. And one of the main reasons I want to just use Hardy's, sorry, what the product is, Color Plus is 15 to 30 years of complete maintenance free, right? Otherwise, I think this house was painted last in 2019, but that's right. They had a case open for that. So then we're looking at every 6 to 7 years,
Yeah.
lining up the contractor, lining up the replacement of certain boards and things, you know, probably.
The other point I'll add too is consistency with fade. So when you have Color Plus, it's baked on into the material. So the exposure of sun over time will fade, but it's going to fade consistently. And it's going to create a consistent aesthetic on the house. But yeah, he is correct. Far superior as far as having to repaint your home. So you save on that. And you also have the affordability component. When you are using twice the thickness, essentially it's twice the cost. So we're making a big push around affordability to help homeowners really improve their curb appeal with James Harding. Having the Color Plus technology gives them a better warranty, protects their home, and then also eliminates having maintenance on their house as well.
just so you know, cost is not a factor that we can take into consideration.
Sure, it's just, this is why the proposal would not include that. It would be closed instead.
So you want me to take a straw vote and see where people stand? Karen?
I would not approve the basic Hardy work. Yeah, I mean, based on the experience that others have in the commission installed in Roman village, No, on new construction, we use it all the time and it's a different application where it is a lot, I mean, it works fine. But on historic homes, it's a different story. And so I can see where that may not be an appropriate finish. So, yeah, I would probably not go for it.
So you
And
don't
there's,
have the votes. So I would just either modify your application or we can vote on it as is. It sounds like it's going to be denied.
Okay, if you would want,
Or we can continue.
well, no, that's why I wanted to ask is, if we do continue and you have your meeting with James Hardy's representatives about other historic districts that do allow Hardy and why those reasons are.
Yeah, there are several in Columbus.
I'm
Yeah.
speaking for the commission. I think we're willing to certainly entertain that conversation.
Okay,
We just can't have it here.
no, I understand that
Yeah.
completely, but
So would you like us to continue it?
So I'm going to ask for not having it here. This is still about the nature of staff, right? We're not going too far off the beaten path. Because I know other commissions do allow it, so what would be the end goal? Setting this issue?
I think the end goal would be to be able to use the standard Hardy material, but have something in the application that dictates an appropriate installation method
Okay.
that would be acceptable to us.
Would this be kind of like reviewing where it's been used in other historic districts to see how it's kind of held up?
Well,
It's like,
also would be, Hardy's requirements for installation
okay.
and how they monitor that and how they approve contractors for it, and a whole lot of other stuff, which would be part of that conversation.
And I'm going to throw in, this sounds like a very large list, so in terms of timing, it's probably not going to be quick.
Good point, and I agree with that. It will not be quick. We would do it as fast, but I don't think it would be as fast as you might hope. We still might get something for you before the end of the summer, if that saves you a lot of money.
okay. So that would not, we would not continue this case then, if that was going to be what would have to happen?
We could continue it, yes.
Okay, and it would just sit open for X month.
And we can continue it, review it, I think after the third time and continue it then again,
Yeah, well,
until we get somewhere.
so if we continue it, we typically don't put it back on the application until the applicant has said it, the kind of 3 times on and taking it off is somebody's not present.
Thank you.
And I can't also speak for the historic preservation officer, my boss, about what his thoughts on this would be as well.
Yeah, we need Jamieson.
yeah, it could be something as, not simple, but something to the effect that it has to be a approved installer or something like that, right? It could have a procedural.
With
that could-
the approved installer, we might run into ethical issues.
Yeah.
And we typically don't back specific installers.
Right.
Because we do have the approved windows list and the approved roofing list, which is a wider breadth of these materials.
There might be a way of generically doing it.
Right, I mean, like, what is the criteria for an approved installer, and can that be applied instead of saying you have to be an approved installer?
Or something we don't see,
Does there exist something there?
or specification for installation that we're not seeing.
Yeah,
Maybe that's it.
But there'd have to be a different set of details for principal structures versus non.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're willing to try the artificial siding on stuff now because it's just gotta be
I know,
sensible. In many ways, it's sensible.
yeah,
Okay.
I get it.
The other thing too would be addressing the factors that I think we both agree on that we can't control, which is the bad experience could be assume that it came from an improper install. For us, having the guidelines of training and having the lead for contract for the work
Yeah,
is the component that is already in place.
yeah. So my goal would be language, drawings, et cetera, in the application, which drives the zoning approval and drives the building permit approval. And the building gets inspected by the city, or somebody makes a complaint about the construction of the building. We have that background to go and ask the owner to fix it. That's where I would. Okay?
Yeah, well, I'm willing to try because I want it available to myself and others
Yep.
in my community.
And
So,
we're willing to try it also. So,
okay, great.
so do I have a motion to continue?
Mr. Chairman, on item COA 2501381 South Fifth Street?
No.
No, I'm not going to read the wrong one. I'm sorry. COA 2501368 South Lansing Street. I move to continue with the exploration of establishing criteria for installation of the hardy for the
I'm sorry.
basic James Hardy board.
It said criteria evaluating.
Evaluating,
Future potential use. Yeah,
okay, we're evaluating future potential use.
I'm not sure we'll get there.
Yes, that.
so we have to. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, none? You are continued. Thank you. We appreciate it. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Item number 3, COA 2501388 736 South Fifth Street. There we go. Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? State your name.
Cameron Brewer.
Thank you, sir.
Right, this application is an exterior building alteration of the exterior door to replace the existing wood front door with new smooth two-panel fiberglass entry door and install a new Spectrum Series storm door and exterior entry door. Staff has added the commissioner comments from the February reports, 2026 German Village Commission hearing, the staff report. This is an amendment to the previously approved COA application from November 2025. Applicant is now proposing to replace the front door with a new smooth two-panel fiberglass entry door rather than the previous approved four-panel fiberglass entry door. Staff note that the style of the door proposed is not permanent as proposed, but could be if the top panel was glass rather than a solid fiberglass. Since the February 4th meeting, the applicant has submitted additional photographs showing the transom. They have also updated the door style to the four-panel door. Staff recommends the approval of the application with the condition that the upper panel of the proposed replacement door is passed per the German Village Commission guideline. If it's a four-panel door, then it meets guidelines. Staff is also okay with that. Please, I'm acknowledging that I recycled the previous staff report and possibly missed something upon editing. So apologies, everybody. Need to do better for next time. Basis for staff recommendation is City Code 3116.11, the standards for alteration, specifically 2, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, and 12, and the German Village guidelines for door replacements.
Just taking everything from the last meeting, we talked about if we can show the transoms not a rental of the house, we can include that. That way we can make sure it's full unit replacement with the proposed floor panel look that shouldn't do it.
So you're taking out the existing door, the existing frame? The frame historic?
I don't believe so, just based on the homeowner, when the homeowner bought the house, they said that the home was, or the door, excuse me, was replaced in 2011. And on Google Maps, there's a picture of 2009 where it was different. So I believe it has to be a full frame replacement when that was changed, because it's a different set of the transom and it's completely different for itself. It's different everything.
And you're going with the door with the glass and the panel on the bottom?
It's a 4-panel door.
It's a four-panel.
It should be a
Okay. Solid four-panel door?
4-panel door
Gotcha.
for the transom.
Commissioners? Comments? Thoughts?
Well, Thank you for the additional vote.
The staff recommendation was for glass in the top half.
That was for the previous door.
For the previous
But this
door,
door, per the guidelines on the
Okay.
door as well.
Just wanted to clarify. I have them. For the comments. So this is now the transom and the door unit.
Yes.
For replacing in the existing opening.
Yes.
But the proportion size of the sea transom is the same.
That's the exact same.
Ah,
And then the screen door is part of it, right?
Yeah.
Um,
And this frame will be set in the same location relative to the base of the brick as the existing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And same thing.
So, which means transit.
Yeah, or it should be, yeah.
Sorry, can you clarify what color is this door supposed to be?
The door itself is in. The color itself, but the framing around it is the matching brown.
And then the screen door is a different color.
It's called different thing, but it's the same. The match. As it's different. One's temperature, one's per deal.
But the color is the same. It's not the brown, something that it says. Tudor brown,
Yes, it's just same color, different name.
Tudor brown and forest green are the same
The
color.
door panel, floor screen, the framing of the door itself is, chestnut.
So the stone door matches the frame. Richard, anything?
No.
Do I have a motion?
One more question, sorry.
No,
If this will all sit, in the position that the current door is not, flush with the exterior like the current transit, sir.
That again.
Where will the door sit in the pocket?
The door will sit.
Further back like it is
Yeah.
right now?
Yeah.
And the transom will be in the same
Same
spot?
Just like how it is now.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
motion.
Yes.
On COA 2501381, 736 South Fifth Street. To
Is there a second?
second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? COA is issued.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Item number 4, COA 2600091, 898 South Third Street. Raise your right hands. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
State your names, please.
Sue Barber.
Juliet Bullock,
I know you're the architect, you're the owner.
owner.
Thank you very much.
All right, apologies, the backup recorder has really had a memory, so we're troubleshooting for a second. The application has two options. Option A, replace the existing windows to match the existing configuration with Marvin Ultimates. Or option B, remove the existing first floor windows and replace with 1/1 double hung Marvin Ultimate windows to match the second story for the submitted documentation. Based on the documents available in the file, the windows do not appear to be original to the house. The photographs included in the file show the configuration as early as 1938, but no earlier documentation of the facade is included in the file. HBO staff assumes the alteration occurred prior to 1988, which would likely make this change historic. There is evidence of the former configuration with the existing brick as well, with posting. And commission that needs to determine if the change is now a contributing feature or if altering the front of the building back to its original configuration would be appropriate, or if the change in configuration is to be maintained. The existing windows are not original. All windows on the property were replaced in 2003 per CFOA number 03-2-10, which was in February 2003. The applicant has also submitted an additional interior photo showing where the original dimensions were. Staff recommends approval of the application and appending all the attention submitted to HPO staff for review by the commission certificate. The basis for staff recommendation is City Code 3116.11, the standards for observation, as well as the German Village Commission guidelines for windows.
You're good. This is a little bit of an interesting problem. When Sue first spoke about it, I said, oh, I don't know. It's a little tricky. But there's clearly evidence on the outside that the brick has been inbuilt and not in the best manner. I mean, you see the difference in it. And then also, we recently got a permit to renovate the interior, and they took down a drop ceiling, and they were able to see the headers or the double hung windows. So we know what we're showing, as an option, it is most likely what was originally there, based on the evidence on the interior. So I guess, the question is the modification appropriate? With this window, which to me, they always looked a little bit off. My opinion, for what it's worth. And so our preference is the double hung windows, but, clearly we're looking for the commission to give us some guidance on what we should do.
Sure.
I don't know what we talk about, of being able to go back to what it originally was, so I'm more so in favor of bringing back the rhythm of those window sidings, and kind of replacing what's been there. It's a historic in terms of prior to 40 years, but it's not a period of significance, is what I would say. So I'm kind of more in favor of the left elevation. I would agree. Yeah. How many pictures on the interior that where you saw the original window?
I thought we kind of, yeah, you have.
There's one a little further.
It's,
That
there's no electric in there.
Yeah. But you could, there it is, yeah,
Yeah.
the little.
see them barely, but you could see where they were.
Yeah. Yep. So the original brick is still there on the inside.
I think there's enough evidence to say that this is not a guess at what was there, which we don't do. I think you get evidence to say this is appropriate. I think it is a restoration. I think you nailed it. Let's go back to the period of significance rather than just contributing.
I think my only concern, not huge, would be if with the reconfiguration and opening up of a new window, if you're gonna have enough existing masonry to kind of make up for it in some of the areas, but
I think
might be good.
I measured it one time, I felt like, I do these kind of things, people think I'm not, but the one big window actually equals a double hung window. Because if you divide it, and it is pretty close.
Yeah.
So I thought we would be okay. I don't know if you have any extra brick in there.
We actually, now that we started renovating that area, there's an old fireplace falling apart, but there's lots of brick in it that's original. And we have a mason who will come and look at it and see if we need any of it. But the idea is, in 88 until now, it had been office space, and it's not gonna be office space anymore. So it's going back to residential, and I think that's how it would have looked when it was residential earlier.
I'm gonna guess the far right was a door.
We wondered that. It was too. Hard to tell.
Look
I
at
don't
the
know,
bottom.
torn that out.
Yeah,
I
right
think it's, I think it's good.
Can you pull
Because
up
all,
the-
that discolored brick goes all the way down.
Oh, I was looking to the right. I think it was a little possible.
Well, we could put a fake door, and we've seen that. But, you know, the light of two windows would be preferable as a resident.
I don't know which floor plan can use the door there.
It's a bedroom.
Put a nice terrace out the room.
I was.
It's already got the little courtyard, you know, so.
Very quirky though.
Okay,
Short some lintels, but.
I'm not gonna go pursue the door issue. I think it's going too far. Do we have a motion?
On chairman, on the COA 260091 for 898 South Third Street, I move to approve option B, I
I
believe.
think it's A. Is it B?
What?
No, B.
It's pretty-
It is B, yeah.
Okay. Okay. I think the drawing shows A is the one with, but
To remove the existing first floor windows and replace with a 1/1 double hung windows. To be approved from the windows list and match the second story first floor with documentation.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, none. COA is approved for option that was stated in the motion.
Thank you.
Option B is noted on the agenda. Application number 5, COA 2600070764 South Sixth Street. Raise your right hands. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. State your names, please.
Joaquín Ferrante.
Thank you.
So, and this application includes a garage constructed in the 1990s to add dormers to the roof to allow for expansion of a second floor space above the garage, add exterior stair to the garage into the west rear elevation near the north corner. This application is a modification to the request to COA 25001938A. The previous application was approved on May 7th, 2025, with the condition that the site plan needed to clearly mark the studio space, that the guardrail system on the stair and detention cable and the roof completed in metal or EPDM with the final color to be submitted to staff prior to issuance of the certificate. Since the May 2025 approval, the COA has not been issued and additional material had not been received. This application changes the direction and location of the stairs and uses the entire existing footprint for the proposed addition. Staff recommends approval of the application with any and all clarifications submitted to staff prior to issuance of a certificate, and that would include what was previously noted as conditions. So that the space was marked as the studio space and the guardrail system, the detention cable, and either the metal or EPDM color to be submitted. Basis for staff recommendation is City Code 3116/2011, these standards for alteration, as well as the German Village guidelines regarding addition.
Thank you. Anything to add?
Would you like anything to add? Anything to add?
No.
No, it's pretty straightforward. We're just, I think, making a little bit better use of the space. Where currently, the walls were set in. Which given the span was, I mean, even for me, questionable, if you ask me.
What's the date of the garage? You know, originally,
Yeah, next meeting.
1990s.
Commission, any comments, questions?
I have a question. The window that you're showing on your west elevation, which is like towards the back, it's showing up as square, but in the rendering, it's showing up as a double hung. In the tags, it says it's the same as everything else. Just under here.
Oh.
The one on the west
So is
elevation.
it a note issue or?
Oh. I don't know which one you're on. So it says, it shows a square there.
Yeah.
But then when you look at the rendering, scroll down. It goes both ways. You keep going to the next view from the back. It looks
yeah.
like it's a double hung.
Yes,
So
correct.
which one is it?
It's the square one.
Okay.
So you not only asked for widening the dormers, you're changing the window size from the COA. Because there were two double hung windows underneath that back deck. In the previous application.
Oh, was there two?
There were two windows,
Two?
and we can do two windows.
My preference is to stay, I have no problem with widening the dormers, but I would stay with, unless you can justify some reason for. I don't think that was part of the application, was it?
Mm.
Yeah, no, that wasn't.
I was under the impression that there were three windows, so that.
I'm looking at the previous application, there's two windows on the back,
Two windows on the back?
on the yard side, underneath the.
Oh, the yard side, yeah. That's the.
You're thinking the garage side?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
And there's no window on the alley side. There's a louver, but no window.
Yeah, we've aligned that window with the upper door. So when you open the door, you're in line with that particular window. That's what the concept there is.
Yeah, and I see that. I just think it's a little bit awkward.
That's really
Yeah.
very, yeah,
These are odd elevations.
Yeah.
that's not typical spacing arrangement and
Mhm.
fenestration in the village, garages or anything.
so what do you suggest?
We can lose the window if that's,
To be honest, from my point of view, I would stick with exactly what your COA was and just go for the widening of the dormers
And flipping up.
and the flipping of the skip. Yeah. That would be my suggestion. Otherwise, I think we'd have to continue this for you to actually put that stuff into the application because it's not there now.
We could amend that.
We could, okay, yeah, nothing wrong with that.
So that would mean no window on the,
Yeah, just, this is what was.
yeah, I see that, yeah.
So,
So no window on the backside? I mean, the
Alley side?
alley side.
Commissioners,
Right now, there's a vent. May we make that into a window?
commissioners' thoughts before I open my mouth?
This we would have to see,
Can you see?
you should have a picture of it.
right? And then we would want to see a drawing.
There,
If you want to see that vent as a window in a drawing,
that one back
as opposed to just imagining it as a sign.
there.
I'm just trying to get east light in the morning.
Yeah.
coming in.
Yep.
And so, I mean, I don't have to do that. But it would just be plain glass and not open.
Yeah, it wouldn't be up
It
above.
would not be it'd be a double hung, it would just be a fixed glass just to get window and, possibly like the stained glass.
Double hung would be easier and better to go with.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah,
Than just a plain glass?
yeah, I mean, we would approve double hung.
You would approve a double hung. Okay, well, that said, I've had so many issues with this because the first, at any rate, if there's anything that we can do so that we can go home and start this project. I would really, really appreciate it if you want a double hung window there. I would do a double hung window. I will do 2 windows underneath underneath the stairway.
You think that could be up?
I have or no window.
No, I mean,
I want to get the studio.
so let me ask the commissioners, do you think that one of the 2 proposed, in the original COA, there were 2 double hung windows on the yard side of the garage?
Correct.
Do you think one of those substituted online and center for the louver in the back of the acceptable?
Yeah, I was just wondering.
And I can do the 2 windows downstairs. I mean, that
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
I like the 2 windows. That's not a problem for me.
I think it was just, it wasn't on the application for it.
Yeah.
We were like.
The first one, was-
Yeah, I've heard
I had to like,
I'm
There's
trying
the
to,
other.
yeah, I'm trying to stick as close to the original COA and still give you what you want.
okay.
I mean,
I think your light fixture is gonna have to adjust because.
And I
know
can
it's
take the
tall.
light fixture out, because that, yeah,
so you can come back, that's a staff approval.
Yeah,
pardon me.
That's a staff approval if you want to change the light fixture.
Okay, I mean, it's just nice to have it go on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I may be okay.
Stuff,
I'm
Your,
just
your
wondering-
architect can figure that out.
Yeah.
It's- So the double hung would be able to be, I could replace that so that there'd be a little bit of eastern light and that way then I have light all the way around.
So the application is going to be as submitted
Okay,
with, maintaining the 2 original windows on the yard side
okay,
and using that same window configuration, in place of the louver on the alley side
okay,
and the widening of the doors. That will be and the flipping of the stairs.
yeah, the flipping of the stairs is really essential because the entrance is one way and I want to be able to have people.
Yeah,
Let me ask a question. So with regards to the louvers that we're looking at, are we making that bigger so that the window fits in there? That's, okay.
yes.
Just wanted to make sure
Yeah.
that we weren't getting a tiny
Same
little.
window, same button.
Oh, okay, but that's.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't care if it's a little double hung window or
That's what we were
whatever. All I
trying to say
want to
here was, do we think that window on the back will work on the window? We probably think it will.
the double hung window that you're proposing for the other side. Is what
Good,
we're saying.
use the
One
same one
side
in the back.
at the same
One
time.
up there at the
Yes.
same place,
Yeah.
except it'll work the sill at whatever height.
Yep, you figure that out.
But we should use the header where it's at now?
Honestly.
Okay.
Or do I bring it down and make it more
Yeah.
visible so everybody can use it? Okay, now we're talking.
Yeah,
All right.
I wondered where it is.
Are you reciting this house? Not house, garage, studio?
I think that we are. I think that the way that I understand it, yes.
Is it part of the application?
No, not as
Okay.
part of the application.
Just as needed.
Because I'm gonna probably change, the color and I'll have to come back. Because I have like a wood on the front part, which
Okay.
needs to be redone. So it's really a question of whether or not I'm gonna do wood, for the garage as well. Now that because of the fact that it's siding right now, that might be, I haven't gotten to that point. And so I'll come back with that, because I also need to do a color, and that's gonna take me some time.
And that would be staff approval also.
Oh, that's staff approval for both the,
Lighting and the.
can you paint siding?
You could, yes, yeah.
You can get it done another.
Yes, yes.
Really,
yeah.
does it look tacky? Not
That's
that,
a matter of opinion, and I haven't seen all of the places in person, so.
No, so it's possible. The biggest issue is that since we take out the roof, because the roof comes off for this addition, then all of a sudden, everything that's touching that roof,
uh-huh,
it's
it's
half the problem,
gone, yeah,
right? So then now all of a sudden, it becomes an issue of kind of, can you sort of two things in or And it just it gets out of control at that
Yeah.
point.
If you've had siding in the past, are you allowed to have siding? I mean, like, a problem is, I won't go with whatever that last person was.
Well, in your application.
You know, I got that part, okay. It just depends on like whether it really like, you know.
Yeah, except that so just, they had the comment that it's been used before in garages.
Yeah,
So
okay,
just-
okay.
I was listening, I was paying attention
Like,
because,
say wood.
because,
You know,
yeah,
what
yeah,
type
yeah,
of
I hear you, I hear
you
you.
know, wood.
We're not approving hardy
Yeah, I hear
board siding on anywhere anymore.
anywhere.
Any,
This says code note 2, trim, batten and board, base of design, hardy board, plank lap side.
So it'll just go to, we'll just go to wood, I guess, is that,
that would be best, yeah.
okay? Well, there we go.
Instead of the sack.
Instead of the.
No, but it was
Some
open for
additional
approval,
board.
here,
Correct.
so should that grandfather in?
That's a good question.
We'll do
No, it's
that.
back that they brought it back.
I was gonna say, I'm defaulting to the commission.
Yeah, no, yeah, puts everything back on the table.
Or-
Or to the COA. The COA is in place, that'd be different. All right, wood siding, board mat siding upstairs.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
That's the easiest way forward.
Yeah,
Wood siding on the garage. you mean?
yep, from the dormers.
No, they're replacing on the existing as well.
Oh, yeah, and no, yeah.
So the new stuff would be wood, and then you'd have siding underneath it?
Well, so right now, this is the siding that you have
Correct.
right now. So if we lift the roof and we
Yeah.
do nothing else, we come back in, you would have to kind of match, and then obviously paint at that point. You would have to,
And then we come in
and then everything above that, it's brand new.
okay. Okay, thank you.
We have a motion on the modified application.
You want to take this one, Karen?
Okay. Item number 5, COA 260070, move to approve as submitted with the provision to replace the louvered window on the east elevation with a double hung window that matches the proposed window at the rear.
And 2 double hung, right, in the front?
Yes, what you call the front and which is.
Yeah,
I mean, like on back.
Yeah.
It's the front to the house. It's the rear to the front. Yes, we're good.
Yeah.
The two double hung windows as the previous approved
Okay.
application. On the yard side.
Right,
And
right, yeah,
would-
that's in the application, that's what we're changing.
Very good.
The application actually has one square window.
Oh, yeah. As it is, that was the previous application.
Previous one.
Previously approved. As previously approved, yeah.
And switching.
With the
it.
two double hung windows and at the yard side, you know, the structure.
Then,
Yard
and
side.
then the siding is
Right.
wood.
And the siding to be wood.
On the top, on the.
Thank you.
Okay,
Sorry.
do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
There's none.
Thank you
COA
very much.
approved.
Appreciate it.
Modified. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for working with us.
I remember being.
Item number
Six.
6.
Thanks again.
COA 260085, 183 Alexander Avenue. Raise your right hand. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes,
State your name.
Brenda Parker.
Thank you.
This application is to construct an addition utilizing a portion of the existing twin porch on the south side of the property. The new addition proposes to increase the footprint of the porch area by 26 square feet. Staff has included in commissioner comments from the January 7th, 2026, Human Rights Commission hearing minutes and staff report. According to the 1901 and 1921 St. Laura maps, the property was originally a two-unit dwelling with a single-story porch in the rear. The shed dormer on the south elevation and the screen of the new porch was approved in 2003 under CLA number 03-8-9. The existing porch was enclosed in the screen after 2000. The applicant has submitted an updated design, which appears to address the commission comments from the January 2026 hearing feedback. Staff recommends approval of the application with any and all clarifications submitted to HBO staff for review prior to issuance of a certificate. Basis for staff recommendation is City Code 3916 for development standards for construction, as well as City Code 3916 for 11 standards for alteration, and the German Village guidelines for alteration to the existing structure addition.
So in the previous conceptual application, we had enclosed a portion of that screen porch for the primary suite, bathroom, and closet, but we had extruded it beyond its original footprint. When I went back and discussed it with the owners, they were super bummed, and it kind of didn't work for them anymore because they need to they're coming from a big closet upstairs, and they want to make sure they have the same amount of storage space. So instead of extruding it, we're proposing just to kind of tuck a little addition. It'll be underneath the existing eave, so it's going to be short in that closet, but it's just a storage space. So it kind of becomes a separate element, separated from that original porch footprint. Proposed siding is just a boral vertical, so we can kind of take that to grade, and it can just kind of be a fun element. Nothing changed on the front porch enclosure. And then the siding is different on the screen porch. I think originally I had it kind of as a lap siding, and we talked about taking it back to more, kind of keeping the rhythm, the vertical panel rhythm of the screen porch.
Anything else?
No.
Issues?
I do like the changes that they made to the evaluation, and incorporating the rhythm of that screen porch and using the windows within that. And that's a nice one.
I think the size of the closet addition is really nice. It disappears from the street view completely. And then chops up underneath it from that side.
Does that overlap the existing house?
Oh, I didn't update
It
that
doesn't.
second floor addition.
That
Okay, that's what I was looking at.
Because I looked at that too, and that's why with the installation.
Yeah.
I don't have any additional comments.
Got a couple. So let's talk about the closet addition.
Okay,
Don't think the roof should mimic the porch roof because it's a different structure.
okay,
But I think it could be a low shed. This is just my opinion. Could be a low shed that runs up to that, or even a flat roof.
isn't it a low shed already?
It is a low shed, but
But
one
it's-
rotated
yeah.
90 degrees.
Oh,
Or flat.
but yeah,
I
it's gonna
think
have to be
we're gonna-
flat, otherwise we wouldn't have any
It's just,
close
that's
space.
one. What is the extent of demolition in this? And I'm asking this. Because is there currently a crawl space under the present porch extent? I'm not seeing it. I think it's slab on grade, but now you've got
Are you talking about the front porch or the screen porch?
big porch along the south side of the house.
Yeah, so there's photographs, basically the wood just sits on the ground.
Okay, so you're basically demolishing all of that.
No, we're gonna restore, everything that's to remain is gonna be restored. So if you look at some of those photos where the
So my
wood is,
question though is, you're putting a crawl space in this. Well, it's
In-
under part of it.
under the area where we're doing the bathroom and closet, but the screen porch stays as is.
Screen porch stays, the enclosed part is gonna be, basically just the roof is gonna be salvaged. I'm not being critical, I'm just
That's
trying to
correct.
understand.
You're
Roof is
correct.
gonna be salvaged, and you're gonna put a crawl space underneath it with some
Yeah.
excavation.
We can get a proper foundation.
So what's the relationship of existing grade and the future grade at the existing porch and the future porch enclosure?
So in the sections, we're elevating the ground, that ground level.
Yeah.
Up to 16 inches above grade, basically 2 steps down into the bathroom. So when you're in the bedroom, you're gonna have 2 steps down, you know, because it works with the slope of the ceiling.
Gotcha.
You're gonna step 2 steps down, and that's gonna be 14 inches, because about 14 inches above.
So you're in this picture here. This, the floor elevation is down below grade?
The floor elevation is right at grade,
And then the crawl space is below that.
crawl space
What's
is
the,
below
what,
grade.
what's the code say about existing grade relative to finished floor?
That's not a section code, I'm gonna.
Nothing was.
So if you look at this section.
Yeah.
So
Where-
framing is just about, is kind of sits right at grade. And we'll have to, treat that.
I think there's something in building code that requires that grade to be.
There's a, would have to be 8 inches above grade. Section in the code.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's what
why.
I'm talking about.
Treated lumber,
Okay.
and then we're fine, because then the wall studs will be 8 inches above grade.
I'm just asking for plans to what you do.
Maybe 3 steps.
It's 2 steps down from the first floor there,
It's 2 acres.
1 pair, 2 risers.
I can do detail stairs. Okay, so that's my comments.
And so we're only digging out and reconstructing the wall where the footprint of the bath and the closet are.
Correct.
Sort of leaving the existing wood on grade condition.
And just restoring it, yeah.
So put it
Gonna-
treated lumber.
Replace the rotted boards,
Okay.
paint it all out again.
So the existing porch floor in what's gonna remain as a porch is gonna stay in place.
Yes.
All right.
So do I need to resubmit with the flat roof, or is that something that could be?
That's the commission. Karen?
Or I guess, does anyone else have a problem with
That's what I'm asking.
with it?
Yeah.
tucking
Yeah,
under
that's what I'm asking.
the
That's
show?
what I'm asking. If I'm the only one,
I think I don't have a problem with what
Okay.
submitted.
okay,
I think it would just complicate this building more, at least it's consistency of roof slopes, it's stepped down, it's still subservient, it's doing all the things.
can you just go to the whole plan?
It's just normal. It's 8 inches or 7 inches off the corner.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Not off the main. And I'm sure that's. Yeah. It's up
Yeah.
the back corner, but not that. But the original.
I don't think that makes any difference. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay.
That's why I didn't. I didn't.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Commissioner, on COA 26000085 Alexander Alley,
Yes.
I move to approve as submitted.
Is there a second? Second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. We have a COA. Item number 7, 107 East Deschler Avenue. COA 2600094. Right hand, please. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. State your name.
Chad Porter.
Thank you, sir.
Right, this application is for landscaping, and the permit for the residents would include replacing the concrete walk with brick, replacing the concrete step, limestone, and refreshing landscape. On the side of the residence, this would replace irregular stone walk with brick, and on the rear, this would include removing the existing water feature and landscaping, removing the existing wooden staircase and landing, installing a new raised patio, new hardscape at grade, new landscaping and turf, as well as installing a new outdoor kitchen. The commission needs to discuss if the patio proposed is appropriate. Staff recommends approval of the application with the condition that the new patio is closer to the existing grade. Basis for staff recommendation is City Code 3916.13, standards for site improvements, specifically A, as well as City Code 3116.11, and standard for alteration, which I think I've listed all of them, so I'm not going to read those.
Discussion, comments?
The only point of contention with the staff was really the raised patio, but like I can breeze through the other things real quick. In the front, it's largely landscaping and material replacement. Right now, it steps up right past the sidewalk, and that's all concrete. Until it turns the corner and becomes a brick path that wraps around. About halfway back to the residence, it switches over to a regular flagstone. So we would replace the brick that's there with new brick. We would replace the concrete that's in the front, also with brick. And the step that's currently concrete. And these are not the porch steps, it's just the one step down the sidewalk. That would be replaced with limestone. You have consistent brick around the back, and then we switch to an ivory travertine. And get rid of all of the regular flagstone that's there. The previous owners went with more rustic kind of thing in the back, with the water feature and a regular flagstone. So that would all go. Other than that, it's just fencing. In the back, again, it's the avenue travertine. There's currently, and this was installed sometime based on the aerial photography, sometime between 2006 and 2008. There's just a wooden staircase with a small pad that's maybe 8x3 in the back coming off the main door, double doors in the back. That double door is raised 45 inches above grade. Right next to it is just a regular man door, like a servant's entrance situation, and that is accurate. Just inside the house, there is a staircase, comes down from the kitchen, half a flight, and that's where that door is situated. And then it turns the corner and continues down to this. That's why the door is sitting at that level. Prior to what's there currently in the back, it looked like, again, from aerial photography, there was maybe just a staircase. The photography is so old, it's grainy, you can't really tell. I can't imagine there was nothing there. You can't really see anything at all. So what we're proposing is putting in a raised patio there, which is typical of this area on Deschler, the patio porch. In fact, there was a previous COA here in 2022 that was approved that had a porch going back that was at 45 inches above grade. And in that COA, they actually took that door that's at grade and replaced the window and moved it up to 45 inches. In this plan, we wouldn't touch that door at all. The raised part of the front, we just cover the double doors and everything to the west. So we go to the edge of the house to the west, but it would leave the service kind of tucked away.
Explain again where the double doors go and where that single door goes. I'm not.
Like inside,
Yeah, like what does it go to on the inside?
it's like a living room, the double doors go to the living room area.
Okay,
And then the
single door is on the landing step with a magnification. So if you go in that single door and were to turn west, which is going to be up on the drawing there, that's going to head down into the basement. If you go straight into the residence, that goes up into the kitchen.
So it doesn't, there's no step from that door that connects into the living. It either goes to the basement or the kitchen.
Yeah. Now it's fairly open inside at this point with renovations taken on. It's not completely open, but it's semi-open.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can, it's not closed off little rooms or anything, but they don't connect.
And the kitchen and the living room are at two different levels on the inside?
No, the inside, those are the same.
Oh,
So
so
this
this,
door is at grade,
okay.
which is half a flight of steps down, and then the other half. And I believe from what the homeowner said, when they had a previous COA, which is I think right after they bought the home, they were looking at reworking that, but then they'd have to introduce steps somewhere else in the house to be able to get down the basement. And then they realized this is an awful lot of money that we don't want to spend to move steps around. I guess his house, probably for an ADA reason, had an elevator in it, and it's since been abandoned for this dog. I'm guessing from that same previous COA.
Can you, talk about your approach to the basement windows that are along that, what I'm assuming is the south facade?
Yes.
Right there?
Yes.
Cause it looks like that new patio, if it's meeting up where the double door is right now, it's gonna conceal those completely.
It would consume it completely. There's also what the porch did previously. But they had, but we'd like to, structurally, we'd like to leave those framed in as blocking in, so you never know what happens down there. It was 30 years from now, someone else could buy the house, completely remove it back in, and they would just still be there. But they would not be this.
So I can remember when this house came up for COA before, there was a lot of required work on the back of the house. It was in really bad shape. I think I remember the porch. I remember the discussion about the service door on the right. I cannot think of anywhere that we have allowed windows to be closed up and Phil brought in to put a terrace up at the living floor, ever. I've got concerns about closing the windows up and doing that when there's other alternate ways of giving the owners in this house livable space at that main level of the house.
Now, the improved porch plan was, I guess, part of the COA. The improved porch plan, it also was a covered windows, but there was some sort of either bars or faux windows or something. They don't really call out what it was. You'll see it later. It's probably part of the discussion, but drawings that.
With the porch, there wouldn't have been any reason to close those windows up. They would have existed underneath the porch.
Similar to how they.
Oh,
did they-
so you're saying even though they're not visible, as long as they're just there, it's fine.
Right, historically, they're significant.
Okay, because the porch has drawn in the previous COA, those wouldn't be visible.
Now, there probably was a skirting on it, but the windows would have existed. There would have been some light. There would have been ventilation capabilities of using them because of ventilation of the porch. I think the other thing is historically, you are alternating the grade on the back of this house significantly. That was never an attempt ever doing, but I know we've done cuts. I can't think of us ever doing this much fill in the back of the house for a terrace.
I mean, you're raising it 39 inches.
Yes, it'd be one step, you step down,
It's a freaking lot.
it's at 49 inches or 45 for the current level.
Yeah, why did you choose to do that rather than porch?
Yeah, I mean, fine.
Well, those requests from the homeowner for one, and they previously had approved. And decided not to do it. Me personally, I don't I don't see a different structurally or architecture if we have which there, we're having this there. It still covers the windows. I don't believe this part of the house is original, based on what they told me. This part in the back is original. Okay. Is the windows set up is completely different. It's 1900 homes.
But if you using your similar language of stone steps with limited regular fill that gets tucked up with a landing right outside those double doors, then you can go down the stairs and rotate around to a table patio at grade. You would gain visibility and light through those windows, and you wouldn't have excess fill that you have to truck in on site. You wouldn't need energy overhead, but need stem walls and
So
railing.
I'm gonna follow what you're proposing.
She's
Pull the, can you go
the patio down to grade.
pushing the patio down to grade?
And just having a staircase.
Yes.
Yeah. And using that cheap walls as planter beds. And doing, sorry, you know,
There's a window underneath there currently.
underneath the. Oh, underneath the door.
We open space.
Could be an open store.
So is the main issue getting light through those windows?
It's,
Let the remain functioning.
yeah. And the appropriateness of building on the back of the structure. And then it looks like you're proposing a CMU as the, as the retaining wall.
Well, just structurally, it'd be pretty convenient.
You see some details and caps and
Yeah.
railing.
I mean, yeah, if you're at a, I don't think, I didn't see where you call out the height of the railing, but it's a.
Yeah, I think the railing is proposed, does not meet code on the west side there. Yeah,
What's wrong with it?
And
it
it
would
would
need to be 42 inches
Oh.
in height.
and it's 42 inches on top of already 3-foot grade. Which is. Tall. I think
Your caps need to be on the wall. A lot of stuff.
So you would be okay with the porch here, even though the skirting is completely enclosed? Still nothing, no light against the windows.
Much less intrusive.
And if the homeowner doesn't want to do a porch, patio, or any steps of some sort to get down the grade, you're saying these steps need to be open or in some way get light to that existing windows directly.
So they're functional.
You know, it would have to be a wooden looking style from now.
That would make the most sense. Yeah.
Now, is this a height issue? To ask, is almost every house, we think everyone has on the second section. And almost every home in this area has either a raised porch or raised patio or multi-tier patio in the back of it. Now, I couldn't tell you what was a previous windows or whatnot. It's not odd.
I can think of porches. I can think of one house that has a terrace, but that's a new build.
I could think of a couple steps, not as many steps.
Yeah. And before the yards were dug out.
Yeah.
Or there's a significant grade change. Whatever. We think that would work fine.
We could carry.
Yeah. My question was like.
Good, I followed it. Just for your information, if I remember correctly, the house is one single construction, no additions. But I think that second floor was all porch and the house was originally built. I'm not sure about the first one. Yeah. Way back ages ago. A lot of work on that house.
Yeah, they, I think predates the current owners, but they mentioned, I mean, you can tell it's inside and out that work is still done.
It was not in good
Area.
shape. 15
Yeah,
years.
it's substantial work was done.
Yeah. I remember the conversations.
Yeah, regarding the landscape in the front, I think it's appropriate.
So I think if you're the commission, would like to hear see some other alternatives besides raising the grade up to get a terrace up there. Would you like us to continue this?
Well, as we do a partial approval from the
That's-
front and the side,
That's what I was.
Okay.
gonna ask about.
because then we can
Splitting
start
it
work
up.
on that. While we, that's gonna take time and work, especially this time of year.
Is there a motion to split this?
I move to split COA 26000094, 107 East Dutchler Avenue to part A and B. Part A will consist of front of residence and side of residence to deal with replacement of concrete block and stone walk with brick and steps with limestone, and the refresh of the landscaping. Then part B, the rear of residence.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. A and B. We have a motion for
I move
discussion. Okay, let me first, is there any discussion on part A? Everybody's good?
Yep.
Okay, motion on part A.
for COA 26000094, part A, I move to approve as submitted.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Motion carries.
For COA 26000094, part B, I move to continue.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Part B is continued.
So part B is B in there. I
Yeah.
should submit a new oil system here.
So you'll submit new documents to your existing application. And that, if it's continued, it stays open.
Okay.
And I know
That would be a
since
new record.
But it gets a little weird, but what I'll do is I'll issue the COA in the SLA. I might email you as well, just because there's certain steps I have to do
Yeah.
back end to like get it to push email, but since it's not doing next or leaving it open, it creates some funky stuff that I have to do on the back end, but
I'll look at it after the other COA, roll the approved one when that appears.
Yeah.
And then, because we'll need time to, go back and forth with all.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 8, COA 2600120637 637 South Third Street. Raise your right hands. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. State your names.
Dr. Barnes?
City Barnes. All right, this application is conceptual. Apologies, everybody. I put this in the wrong spot on the agenda. Throwing everybody a loop. We'll switch back to the approvals after this one. But this is a conceptual application to construct a new two-story addition towards the rear of the property. The addition is to include a two-car garage and second story floor deck. This was previously reviewed at the February 4th, 2026 hearing. I have included the commissioner comments from that hearing. The property was previously approved in 2021 for the construction of a new detached two-car garage with a studio office space above. The site was approved for new driveway to utilize the existing curb cut, and driveway would be a mix of gravel strip and brick. The applicant has updated the proposed addition to garage design in the previous meeting. Staff recommends the commission provide feedback for the applicant to further refine the proposal for review on future hearing. Basis for staff recommendation is City Code 3116.12, with standards for construction, as well as the German village guidelines for alterations to existing structure and additions.
Hello. You probably noticed that the description doesn't necessarily match the application, the materials. So what you're seeing is less than what you saw before. So this is a one-story garage now, not a two-story. No living space above. So that's good. We discussed how to do this connector. And I think that rendering on the back of the package shows that. So this is a 3-foot space. That wall with its mostly glazing is set back about 3 feet from the base of the garage. We'll be planting next to the between the sort of entry steps, and this is very conceptual. And the driveway, we'll be planting that, trees there, we'll have a tree located basically in front of that window. So I think perceptively, you will not see that whatever is back there. And it's going to be dark, as you know, glass is not clear, glass is not transparent, glass is black for the most part. So that's going to recede. That's the idea. And the addition off the back also is 1 story, so that's much lower than the existing house. So as I'm typically like at least 1 scheme ahead of the submission, so I just keep working after I submit. Sorry. Getting ready for the next submission. What I would also propose in terms of next changes are garage stays the same, still 1 story. Connector basically the same. What I, thinking more about the presentation of the garage relative to the house. So going back a little bit, this house was painted. It's painted because when we got it shortly after, when we started sort of doing work on the house, at that time it was mostly interior. The back, the north facade towards the back was orange. It was like orange with black mortar. It was nasty, and it was like a tar substance. So that's what led us to doing the painting, because we could not get that paint off. I think at that point we had Randy Black helping us sort of negotiate that. So therefore the house is painted. So in my opinion, a garage wanting to be subservient, secondary to the house, having that as unpainted brick is confusing. I think it makes the garage more prominent, more substantial. Don't want that. I want it to be secondary. So I think some sort of a horizontal siding would be a much better, much more appropriate presentation of the garage. Essentially, we don't want to see it, right? We want, it's already, we're set way back. And I don't want it to compete with the house. The house is painted, and I think a brick garage is going to be kind of opposite of what we're doing. So I would propose that structure, the garage and the addition be horizontal siding. And we can talk about what that is and what that stuff looks like and all that. Other than that, I don't know what else, other information that we're seeing here that we didn't see before, or what might be changing. There's not much to this. I mean, my window package is all of like 1, 2, 3, 4. That's including stuff that's
most of it's, except for one window, is all west facing, and not seen from the street at all. That also includes, a few skylights on the south face of the addition. So that would be my recommendation moving forward. What I would like, to leave with this, lead with this meeting is, obviously discussion about that, the gable, is that term, the gable? All right, not done yet. I also would like to consider a gable roof on that garage rather than a flat roof. It's a lot of space, it's a lot of room. I would rather use those funds for landscaping and the brick driveway. And, you know, what's typical in your village is what is more typical is a simple gable garage. You know, I think that would be very unnoticeable. So that's what my other suggestion is, wood siding, the gable running east-west. It's basically, it has the same pitch as it will have the same pitch as the house. Yeah, so having had those discussions, what I would like to lead with is your approval of the side yard variance from 5 to 1. I will tell you that the actual dimension is going to be determined more by my builder than me, because I want this thing to be buildable, obviously, and maintained. If you can do it in a foot, great. If not, then, you know, it might be slightly more. There's an existing brick wall that belongs to the brick loft next door. Not touching that, doesn't belong to me, so I need to make sure that that's intact. I'll have probably a turn down flat and an eccentric footing on that, not excavating in anywhere near that brick wall. And I know the owner of the book loft, and he has expressed no concern at all about this, especially now that it's one story. That's what I got.
So let me respond to the zoning piece first. We only recommend zoning variances after we've approved the district.
Because I'm in queue for that, but we'll see what happens in terms of time.
We want to recommend variances that are specific to what's going to be built, not guessing. Commissioners?
You know, I like the flat roof on the garage, and just because it seemed making it more subservient and also lower profile where it does make the connector. But, so I'm trying to picture what that would.
Should look like every garage, basically. What I would like to do though.
I'm good. That's fine for garages and alleys, which are 20 by 20 or whatever. This is on Third Street. It's got a wide frontage exposure. And I think a pitched roof is going to be just massive. Mr. Barnes, I agree with the flat roof. I was pleased to see that. I agree with the wood siding on it also.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Because I think if you do a hip roof, it's gonna read too matched to, but out of proportion with the existing building. Because you don't have the same width as the existing building.
Ostensibly it is, it's 1 foot.
True,
I mean,
but
I'm
it's
50%.
extending back further
It reads.
and
Which, okay, that brick wall hides most of that, but you know, that's a different kind of issue, the length of it is what it is. I just think that's such a typical thing. And there are certainly, gable garages facing the street in the village for sure.
Most of them are new builds. They're part of the new build house. Or they're all the way in the back. I'm trying to think of the one in the back. Oh, pitch.
I built one
Yeah,
right around the corner on Willow.
Willow, yeah.
I mean, look, I'm sure I can show you lots of examples of what I'm talking about, but you know, you can count them up or not.
I just think, I think both are appropriate. I think the gable is not inappropriate at all. I think it looks very much in keeping. And that just allows me to do more with the exterior landscaping, et cetera.
So just to remind the commission, some quotes from the guidelines. The scale addition is more appropriate in design improvement. Is most appropriate and is a design improvement. The garage structure reads as an attached addition here, and this is just what I'm reading. Garages are usually found in backyards or along alleys. Most are of frame construction. A visible connector between a historic house and garage is strongly discouraged. Located close to the rear or inside rear lots is the preferred location for garage. And detached from the residence. Where no alley exists, the garage should be set back from and preferably obscured by the house. The decision to build a garage in brick or frame should be based on several factors, including the historic record of the property, design or style of the main house, and materials most commonly used along the alley and street. Materials and detailing should be similar than the main structure. Garages should be located in size to maintain the historic pattern of space in the village, which this is odd, and should not compete with the rest of the nearby structure.
Perfect. Well, I'll just remind us, the discussion that we had, we left that discussion saying that the connector would be acceptable if it was.
I'm gonna say we would consider it.
Okay.
I would say we would approve a connector. We said we would consider based on what you were trying to do.
That's fine.
And I,
I don't know how to make it any more.
and here's my criticism. I think the garage needs to go back beyond the back of the house. Because you're in front of the back of the house now. And I think that connector needs to be pulled away from that back corner of the house. So that back northwest corner of the house reads clearly from the street.
Okay, so, what I'm trying to do, I agree that the connector needs to be behind the face of the garage. That's why the garage is slightly in front of the back of it. You're not gonna read the northwest corner of the house no matter where you. You won't read it. I mean, that wall can go back, that connector wall can go back a little bit.
Totally disagree.
Okay.
I mean, we have done this, we have required this on additions over and over again.
I understand.
But the corners need to be able to be read from top to bottom.
I can see it from the images you've submitted.
See what? I'm sorry.
See that back corner on page 3. The bottom line.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, but you can't see the west side of that. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, the issue with, pushing it back any further is I have fire separation issues with the windows on that. So if I go back, then I don't get that. I have very little windows. I have 4 windows.
Which windows are you talking?
The windows on the west side of the new build, the behind the garage.
Those.
That's a bit messy.
So that's why I can't move it back, because then I move all that.
You could make the rooms inside smaller, still.
Yeah, then I can't, then it's not usable for what I'm being used for. I think that what's important here is that the connector is recessed, that you can't, that it's behind the garage space. Whether that garage space is where it is or 4 feet back, I don't think that's perceptible, from the street, because it's back so far.
Guidelines, I disagree. We're really on thin ice here with this, because the guidelines say no connectors, garages all the way back and obscured behind the house. We are actually discussing a garage that's out in front, and it's got a connect.
I understand that, but I just want to say, I think I had this discussion before. When you talk about behind the house, the reason why we didn't go that way is I'm interested in more green space, not more driveway. And to put that garage behind the house means I got this 93-foot driveway of brick, and I don't think that's a good idea. I just don't. And I think it's entirely appropriate in this case with this property, with that garage way back at the back of the house, that's an appropriate place for the garage. And I think the relative, the relations of the east face of the garage and the west face of the house
I don't think is perceptible. I really don't. Whether it is where it is or say 4 feet back, I don't think anybody's gonna see that. The connector, we could talk about that connector moving back a little bit if you want sort of more separation between the connector and the face of the garage. Or if you really want to expose that northwest corner of the house, that you'll only see the north face, we can talk about it.
I think the garage needs to be behind the face, back face of the house. I mean, you have a COA just of a two-story building all the way in the back. I mean, I'm not saying that's where we're going, but we felt that was acceptable based on the guidelines. It was not obscured by the house, but it was all the way in the back of the property.
It was a 2-story garage.
The two-story garage, but separated, visually, massively, et cetera, separated from the house.
I feel like I could find this acceptable for the garage to be a little forward of the rear of the side of the existing historic structure if that connector piece could be pulled to the west so that you expose that corner of the existing historic house. Yeah, I'm gonna say I like the flat roof in the garage. I do. My comment was gonna be to consider something other than bricks. I'm glad you're thinking about doing this. I felt like it minimized it and then it made it more important than the house, just the rendering that was proposed. So I do like simplifying it with the siding. I do think it needs the garage door. Needs, I think 2 doors would be better than 1, and I don't know if that's just the difference between the rendering.
It's the thing, it's as narrow as I would ever make a garage right now. My problem. Sometimes make the doors read that way,
Yeah,
the one door.
yeah, at least read like 2 doors. And I think the connector is interesting. I do think the more you push it back, the more it will actually disappear visually, even now, screening and plant or whatever is fine, but it's still too close. So I think if there's a way to kind of, push it maybe kind of beyond that door, maybe a little bit creative, almost a little alcove.
Yeah, I'm fine. I can certainly do that. I will say that I'd like to look at, I haven't seen it yet, it's just like in my head. Gable design where I'm emphasizing the sort of lower half, the lower part of the garage. I think in an earlier scheme, I'm not sure. I had sort of recessed to the walls. The garage walls are as you see them, but the door was recessed slightly so that you saw the sort of frame of the garage. Not sure exactly how that would end up looking, but what I'm trying to do is emphasizing with a gable roof, emphasizing that sort of first story, like as is expressed here. So that gable is slightly set back, so it reads behind the face of the garage. So that's even sort of, the garage reads kind of as up the 1 story at the face. Does that make sense?
I mean, if you do a gable though, your overhang is gonna.
Flushing. Because I like to do that on new builds. I like to have some distinction, like not, this is anything but modern.
Really have nothing improving it.
I think it's a really good idea. This is about, look, I can certainly talk all day long and over the weekend on, sort of how to do modern design in the historic neighborhood. But we'll leave that for another time.
Okay.
I do appreciate the reducing of the height behind the existing house. That will, I think that seems really nice.
Yeah. I wish that south wall came north a little bit on the little addition, on
The fireplace.
The living room.
the firefighting.
There's much space and I get in there.
I know.
And
4 inches is all I'm asking.
I give you 4 inches.
Thank you.
4.5.
Round up to 5.
Anybody got 8?
The roof shape though,
You know what that's about. So it's important
Like,
I want to keep all the, as much of that back facade as I can, and I got a bedroom on that back wall. So what I want to do is tilt that, so I'm not right in front of a window, right? That's what that's about. And again, I'm like, who's gonna see it? Me?
you know, I think the profile's funky. It's,
I'm supposed to say you'll let me see.
I know, but that's why we're here, because we do see it.
Well, in the drawing, you can see it, yes.
And you probably can see if it was like, the other house is over on the side too.
If you scroll down to the side elevation. We're not idea. I don't know the machine. No, that can't back up that.
Just so- I mean, or I could continue into the house, and I really don't, I want to separate it.
So why don't you can it on the other side to match me? It's not kind
No. Why can't, why not just flip where the hip is? Red's little.
No, I mean, I like the roof. Oh, we had this discussion.
of the open ceiling.
No, well, yeah, but the roof, the gable going east-west is preferred. I know what you're saying, and I looked at that too.
You mean my one request?
Okay.
That's normal.
Oh, for it to be.
Not every-
Again, I mean, I don't know where you're gonna see it.
It's interesting. I understand why you want to keep the windows. That's certainly appropriate. Anything else? It's conceptual.
Okay.
Mr. Barnes, anything?
Well, again, I'd like sort of clarity on direction as I move forward with this and coming back for next month. So I see there's only 4 of you, but there seems to be some interest, acquiescence to a position of the garage as located on these drawings with a connector that's reset back, so it's behind the west face of the house. You got that. Again, that would be mostly glazing, and some interest in really seeing what that gable could look like if I'm emphasizing the first floor of that garage. First story of the garage.
Not following how that works. Can you explain, looking at that side elevation, all right, you're actually gonna have a flat roof for a portion and then look more.
Say that necessarily, I don't want to get kind of crazy on this, so this view will look exactly the same. What I'm suggesting is the walls this is all wood now. The walls are the walls, the garage door is set back slightly, so you get that frame,
Yeah.
which means just the profile of the walls, the side walls, but not the profile of the roof. I don't want this thing to be thin. I'm okay with the profile of the walls, but then the top would be some portion of that between the garage door and the top of the roof, and the top of the wall, right? So that's set back, and I would suggest then, in terms of the detailing of that gable end, I would do it in a way, maybe I would say, I would try to make a slight setback. I don't think you need much, and that can be done not only with a kind of a slight change in plane, like your 4 inches, but also in terms of how the siding is detailed and the color. So what I'm saying is the garage, 1-story garage face is more prominent, and then the gable end is less prominent, if that makes sense, in terms of how it's expressed.
And you want to do that because you do feel strongly that you want it to be a gable?
Yes. And I want to, I accept the challenge of making it look so that you.
Have to see it.
I would have to
Me
see,
too.
it, but my instinct is to flip from. Which one is pushed out and which one's pushed in?
You want the gable from what? I'm sorry.
Potentially.
I'm not seeing it. I'll have to wait and see what
Yeah.
what you come up with.
Okay, would you want me to look at a hip?
I like flat.
I like flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love that.
The question is, for you, at least maybe for next time, is a gable appropriate? even if
Yeah,
We prefer. it.
Absolutely.
I
So
don't-
look at it.
Yeah, okay. Also true.
Look around.
See you here. Sure.
What?
Sure.
Single slope chimney? That would get very, very tall.
Yeah.
All right,
All right,
I think I'm
there may
clear.
be a vote for a shed over here.
Front and back, no.
Well,
Yeah, across them. Across,
I
yeah.
still think that'd be very tall.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm gonna stay a kid.
all right.
All right, thank you.
Anything else? Thank you, sir. Take a break?
That works.
All right.
And I will know as well, so the next case.
Thanks, and the next one is going to be
Yeah,
So.
and they may not be here.
Oh.
Anybody for 609? No idea.
So I think that one might have left off the building itself, but I do have was that book that one, versus or not. It might have not done that.
It's on the agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the agenda.
You printed an earlier version, haven't
I'm amazed at that.
It's in the staff report too.
All the good.
Or the modeling.
We all,
It's so strange. I can't thought it was strange. It's so. I can.
you're fine. Yeah, we're still there. We're still there.
Whether I work.
Today's the time.
But I don't know. Doesn't think I don't know. Yes, right. And for brother.
I think so.
I think extra copies because we had to do just the 16th this Friday. So I got some copies for the staff.
Sure. I didn't know what to make.
Thanks. Okay.
From you.
Good. All right.
So it looks like they have.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was for us.
Here's the walking again, folks. Buffet.
Maybe. Or 10. But 9 is trouble.
You're gonna fill this out?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry for you. No, thanks to you.
We'll go.
Me too.
What you bears? South Earl.
So we are needing to find that type of.
Columbus and Prophet.
Okay, just find the, yeah, yeah. And we'll,
If you drive in the street in Holloway for a scout.
that's, that's. I go to, here. On the soup. Had a couple of years.
Well, that ain't that.
Oh, I keep looking for an email from somebody. See, 2 days. I just said my mailing label, person need to ship it.
It's good to go.
We good?
Yeah.
We're not gonna,
Oh, no, she's up there. It'll take me.
okay, cool, okay, all right.
And then do we wanna, I guess by us 9 for now, or come back to it?
We'll come back to it.
Sorry.
She said she didn't think we did. Number 10, 878 South LaSalle Street, COA 2600108. And I believe this is fraction. Is that correct?
There is one portion of it.
Demolition, new construction. Right, raise your right hands. We're going to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yeah.
Take your names, please.
Silver. Jeff.
Sirs.
All right, this is my first time doing this, so bear with me right here. This is, application of, the COA 2600108 at 878 South, Ladell Street. And the work here is for new construction and for alteration as well. And the demo also, the work is to replace with a real we're with back material and then also to add that into the center block structure, and then to maintain the center block underneath. Also to replace the windows and with windows from the approved list, to match the existing size and placement. And also to, and then also to inside, the front door and frame and frame with the door. And the door would increase the door frame, the height to meet code. And then lastly, to demolish the rear addition and to replace with the window and part of that door as well too. And then so for the staff rec, because it two parts. For A would be to approve of wood siding. And then for part B, to continue adding glass siding to the cinder block siding replacing windows and doors and also the demo as well too. And then, 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 and then you have the code as well for the base of that reg, that is CC 3116.11. That's 1 through 12 for that one.
Yep.
Hello again.
Hey, how are you?
Thanks for having me back. All right, so now we're looking to actually get you guys to vote on a plan, hopefully, following today's meeting. So to kind of embrace keeping with this historic cinder block garage dwelling, I did have an inspector come out and inspect all of the windows and doors, and you should have that inspection report. One thing they indicated was windows are inoperable for the ones in the front, the ones I'm referring to. Couldn't speak to the historical nature of them. This was a 1946 build. So I did find a picture from 1961. It shows a different front door. And the windows, you can say it looks like they're the same, but there is an argument that maybe that center lateral cross is thinner in the picture than it is today. But that could be up for debate. But in any event, none of those windows or doors are to zone and offer any egress whatsoever. And that's in the inspection report. Didn't comment a lot on the siding. I'm fine with keeping the siding up front. And just doing repair and replace for any rotted wood. But the proposal that you have is to replace those windows with new, German building approved models or whatever, with three, right? Total of 3 windows across the front, 1 on the left and 2 on the right that are egress. Keeping the siding and then replacing the door with a legal zone size door. That door, I don't know if it's got dimensions and anything, but I'm 5'7", and I touched my head against the top of that doorway. So to put a real doorway in there, it certainly has the space without it getting into the roof line. And then that's it from the street. That's the only modification that you can see from the street. The one other thing that I want to ask about, I don't want to forget, it would be the front, is to see about removing the 3-foot poured concrete that is between the building and the actual sidewalk, and then putting some green space in there. Yeah, there it is. And then on the rear of the house, I put demo in there. Maybe I shouldn't have put demolition because I'm not really asking to demo anything. What I'm asking to do is replace. I might have originally, when I submitted this, thought about putting more glass sliders in there. But as Joel pointed out, since I'm the one that submitted this and I'm not, this isn't what I do, we're not really demoing it. What I'm asking to do is to put a 10-foot glass slider. There's no real light in this property. We're not going to touch any of the windows on the side of the house. And this putting a nice 10-foot slider on the back side, which is currently where the other door is. And then replacing those 2 windows in the rear, or the 2 aluminum windows that are currently in the rear addition, replacing those with, again, egress windows. And again, none of that you can see from the street. So that's it. That's really my, and then siding is to get approval to put siding around it. I'll address this thing like a little bit.
Commissioners?
So you're proposing on the front elevation, not just replacing the windows that are currently there in the configuration that they're there. You're proposing them moving.
Basically, just to make them egress.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think just to comment on that point too, right now, the two windows are not even the same size or at the same elevation from the floor. There's some weird asymmetry happening, which I'm sure is hopefully not on purpose. So the goal would be sort of regularize that facade, given the size of the structure. And go to casement windows that would allow egress dimension, but not, going to double hung, they'd be, disproportionately large. So go with the smallest casement we could find with a 6 divided light that is sort of complementary to the scale. That's sort of the goal.
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly, depending on this project too, I mean, I want to put brick back there on that sidewalk. I think that can be just a regular staff submission, right? Or is that, yeah. You see where I have a question for you while I'm here that's unrelated to this actual COA. You see the poured concrete on the side, on the curb? If you log into the portal on this property, there's a big red notice thing that says notice. It says notice.
That's for every single property in German Village. That's from the former litigation about the, getting a COA for, work in the right of way.
But is that, because it's reflecting, it's about this curve in 2001 or 21?
It's every curve.
I got you. Okay, so Columbia Gas, I
Blank
spoke to
statement.
them, asked them to come back and put a limestone in. And
That was the litigation that the society had with this.
Okay,
committee,
let's ignore it.
That's been resolved, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got the same thing when I did this.
Okay, gotcha.
I think it's the other clarification for the front, there's the idea that the door currently, there's a dimension in there, but it's definitely not 6'8", maybe 6'2". With the cut down, you can see even the panel has been cut. So the goal is to make that a viable front door that's code compliant. And I think, one that matches very closely to the image of 51 door, which is a sort of half and half divided like with a 4 pane. I think it's near the end of the presentation. You scroll down a little bit. Sorry, up, a little bit up. There we go.
I thought that was an ad for the property when it was listed for sale in 1961. That was what it with little like eyelashes over the.
We're not proposing that.
No, but it would, my neighbor across the street is buying, goes, oh, I like those. And really, they definitely give it character.
It's all these.
Yeah, and I think I'd like to put a screen door in there. I mean, I'd try to find, I was looking for historical, just old antique doors. I don't know what your ruling is on that. But I would like to find a door that resembles that if I can. but,
Still making.
Yeah.
So it's from 61.
Yeah. The and the MLS.
So the front portion is framed in, right? Behind the front elevation. Is there evidence that that door was taller? It's 61, it looks like it's that height.
It does, it probably is that height.
Yeah.
So there's a steel beam that runs across from edge to edge. Continuous, but we're not going back to a garage argument anymore, but there's a steel beam that runs across that, and the framing is just all willy-nilly. Behind that, we had to do some exploratory demo to put this case together.
Yeah.
Why they cut it down? Couldn't tell you, but we certainly could make it full height.
So the other two windows that had height is consistent, like, we still height it varies.
Correct.
Yeah, the proposal is proportionate, so it doesn't stand out as being odd to put a normal sized door in there. I mean, I literally could stand and my head is touching the top of that door. Guy from Divers was out the other day and he hit his head on it and I'm walking up.
The code requires that the door be current code. I certainly know that the code doesn't require emergency egress for bedrooms that are already in place. We've had this conversation, although we promoted it, and we've done,
Where possible.
casement windows that look like double rooms. They look like what? They're replacing.
And to clarify that, would that be a double hung with the same 6/1?
Whatever's there now, whatever that.
Yeah.
Button pattern is. You can get a, casement window. They'll operate, emergency egress for a bedroom, but still looks like a.
I wouldn't change the size of those in front. I just keep them that size. Place the trim siding. Place the windows if they're not in good condition, even that size. And that style. That's why I asked for the age of that photo.
I appreciate the report that you put in, but we'd like to have staff to take a look.
Yeah.
You're talking about the windows?
Yeah,
So you're saying you want to keep the windows current size?
absolutely.
So replacing possible siding, replacing, but not the 3 windows, current side windows.
Right.
What about the human sized door?
It's a shame here.
I mean, it would have wanted the other headers, which is a traditional thing, but to expect.
But what's unique about this is it doesn't line up with the other windows,
And it didn't.
and it never has. As wonky as it looks.
I don't know. It's tough. I think I would support a door that's a usable height.
Is that back door a standard?
I think it's also.
Once we-
Yeah, the back of.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, I cannot actually support replacing that door with a standard height door. No, no way.
Well, why I was asking about that back door is it's an acceptable height.
Yeah.
It's rid.
I think maybe let's approach it maybe backward, I don't mean mistake, but I think, let's start at the back. And then move.
All right.
Because I think the front is obviously the most contentious thing,
Yeah.
and I think we are willing to have some reservations that we can make this a viable building,
Yeah.
a viable residential building, apart from the fact that if it is a bedroom, it's not safe now, it doesn't have to be safe.
So it says everywhere I'm reading, demolish the rear cinder block addition and replace with the window sliding glass doors. I'm assuming when I actually look at the drawings, that you want to knock a hole. But you're saying you want to knock a hole in that wall.
Yes, that's right.
You are not proposing to actually demolish that wing sticking.
Any of it,
Yeah.
any of it. Where the slider's gonna go where the doorway is now.
Just to clarify that.
Please go to page 2, please. Show that's what that is. One more down, maybe page 3, sorry, that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then those windows. So really, if we start in the back, what he's at is, getting appropriateness for that sliding glass and the windows on the addition, which would just be facing the rear, period. And those windows, do you have pictures of those windows we can show what we're replacing?
Yeah, page.
Right there, right there. Yeah. And those are the aluminum, whatever. And that would be, again, if we gotta keep the same hole, fine. But that would be a place where you could allow egress without altering this building that can be viewed from anywhere but the backyard.
I'm
And that's
thinking,
the bedroom.
That's the bed.
And
And
because
originally I thought I had 2 sliders, but that bedroom was a flat roof. And it's just, it's not, it doesn't feel like a workable living space.
I think because this is in the back and outside, it's okay. That's my opinion.
So you're propose, not what is shown, but you're saying you want us to consider changing this to an egress window.
Yeah, it's not what you have in there.
Yes, sorry, go back, drive around, I apologize. Go back up a couple, you're probably used to it. So we're taking out, right now they're 24 or 40 by 24s,
Yeah.
like half slider. The one on the back will keep in the same proportion, but turning it into an awning. The one that's on the side, we're replacing the 2 vacuum casement sides that we were proposing. Just proportionally felt.
a little better, let's say for a bed, those sorts of things. And it's like a 10 by 10 or so foot area. Sleeping area.
So you're keeping one opening the same size that the current layer, you're just replacing, or rather proposing two windows in this floor.
Correct.
And the slider.
And it's fine. And all of those are not visible in the street, so. Much. I don't.
So in your absence, we've got a report on conditions of the building, but we think staff ought to go take a look at it. Just to confirm.
You're having the best moments. Each staff had intended to go out between the business meeting day and the hearing, but due to illness, that was not.
Okay.
And the clarify that would be the condition of just the front windows that were in, or the all of the windows.
All,
What was it? What was that? Just clarifying what staff is going to verify which windows or, just to get the condition of that. I think the goal today is obviously to hopefully get some amount of egress into this building. If it's all in the back, I think I think we're both willing to live with that. And if we want to continue, split, split the approval, so the front right.
staff recommended this be split into two.
So. Yeah, I think if you're, just to give a little reminder, I came in here thinking I'd take it back to its original purpose of the garage, and you guys said no. Then came back with a one-car garage, so I kind of split it up and see, and you said no. Here I am, embracing this as best I can. But I gotta make it livable workable. Because I mean, not having a human-sized door seems to be, it's like, how much more can I possibly get? I'll keep those two front windows. And if you say they can't be replaced and they're in good shape, I'll keep them as is. I really want a human-sized door up front. And be able to do that stuff in the back.
How tall is the door?
With that.
Do you know what that door size is in the back?
He's gonna replace it. It's gonna be replaced with sliders. So it'll be clean.
It's 76 taller. Yeah. 76.
Yeah, we have a couple of sizes on one of those pages.
Yeah.
The existing versus the proposed.
Is it on the interior? Is the floor level at the bottom of that small door? Where is
It's a really good question.
level?
So do we have a picture of the front? Stoop? I don't know if you can zoom in on that.
Yeah, it looks like
There's a step in the front, the back door is flush-ish, depending on how you consider that. But that concrete step slab was,
Okay.
yeah, I thought like, did you go?
Yeah. I was
Yeah,
wondering
did you go
if
down?
Down.
No, same thing. Nowhere to go in there.
Okay.
You know, I mean, the guidance person's like, put hardwood down or something's got to go right on the concrete. So.
Personally, I would be in favor of raising the door to make it.
And I'll counter that with, it's been functioning for many years.
Yeah, I know. I know, it's different.
There's no real need to do that.
I think I would be open to putting it down a regular size door.
As a,
Why?
because I think if it doesn't, it'll be demolition by neglect.
It's fine for that.
I don't know.
I would like to report a demolition by neglect.
Yeah.
We
If
all
that's-
work.
Yeah. If that is. I mean, the rest of the windows stay the same size and proportion. I think that raises a,
Part of the character of this building is the size of that door.
I know.
That's especially in a small building like this, that's a
I know.
significant, very visible change.
And it is hard for me to say it.
So,
So I think, can we do a quick, I think I just did a quick straw poll, and I'm just focusing on the door, because we're going to chip away at this as best we can, right? I think we keep it moving. And am I able to ask for a quick straw poll of general gut? I mean, I think I heard 2 favors and 1 non-favor.
one definitely not.
Heard.
So I think I could get behind raising the height of that door only to match the top.
The top trim. That's very reasonable.
Now, if that's under an 80-inch door, that's what it.
That's a great concession. That's great.
But if you've touched it, it's gonna have to go to code.
True.
We'll have to get 8 inches.
I don't know. I think I measured that. The thing is, I don't know what the rules are on the actual thickness of whatever you call it, frame. Like, is there? It's just the area trim. Yeah.
The running trim?
We can put the standard. Same details of that. And I think that based on the measurements, I think if we go to 80-inch door, we'll align with those. That's why it was confusing to us why it was ever cut down. Because if you want to go look at the demo, it's just, there's no header over it, no header of any of those windows, but it's steel. So the decision's unknown, but that's what we've got. No, I measured it myself, and I thought, like, why isn't there like, why is 80 inches fit? And it doesn't, it's not gonna clear the top of that window frame. It'll be something akin to that, you know.
And that's an 80-inch door?
But obviously, existing windows,
Hmm.
not those.
Yeah, disregard those windows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys want to do a site visit then for the window replacement decision?
The staff.
Staff, okay.
Well, does one of the commissioners want to meet us on site to measure out?
Sure.
Order?
Yeah.
Like, that would make people feel really better and more confident.
Yeah, I mean,
It's up.
they're fine with an 80-inch door, and I'm being critical here. You don't want it to go any higher than what's there. But if we allow it to go even 1 inch more, it has to go to 80.
I know. But would you not require them to replace the slab? The one that
Oh,
is
no,
not,
no problem with replacing the door slab. Yeah.
but that, yeah, then they're going wrong.
Replacing the door slab's a lot easier than
Yes, I know.
putting it head of a door.
But it's, yeah.
There's not.
Unless the door's just. Okay. So I think there's some verification on the door.
What was the portion of the application that could have been split? Can you remind us?
Well,
I think it was the front landscaping.
I don't even know if did you put that in the
No.
application?
I think it was staff who suggested it.
No, I just approved splitting that with the replacement of the wood siding. And then continuing having the lap side into the cinder block replacing windows, replacing doors, demolition.
So if we could, if I could suggest this, if we can get the back, voted on today. And the siding, if you're okay with siding on the cinder block, not anything to do with the front,
Talk about that.
but
Yeah, I don't understand how that works. Where is,
make it conform with the height of the cinder block. I mean, I know it's old, but it's not pretty.
yeah, but
It's one, not pretty. What's that? I mean, the cinder block after that, it's right. In particular, the back.
We just had somebody come in with a cinder block garage that asked to do the same thing, it was denied.
Replacement of the existing siding?
Okay.
Yeah.
painted.
It's painted.
Yeah.
Better. But, yeah, okay. All right, well, then don't include that. I thought that might be an easier approval.
Yeah.
But I'm just, the back is the big one. So I can start moving on this inside and doing some things. And the front, if you want to leave it until staff visit, I'm okay with that.
Okay. So we'll do replace existing siding real lap wood to match the original siding material and firm profile. Replace. Demolish the rear wall and replace with windows and sliding glass doors on the east side and on the north side of the wing.
We talk about this land charts in the front.
Oh, yeah, then the planning, I guess, the demo of the sidewalk portion, having some green space. We throw that in there.
Is there, I don't remember. It's just no walls, it's just bed. Really, just ground
Yeah,
with a.
I'll come back with some kind of proposal for what to plant there, but just to open it up and put something pretty.
Thank you, staff, for,
Landscape.
Minimal landscaping.
thank you, staff.
I just wanna make sure we're raising that up. Cause it says 36-inch planting bed and. Deep.
My fault.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's not.
36 inches.
No, no,
I was like,
Yeah, then you won't see the beautiful building at all.
we think she's beautiful.
It's like the pear trees up front, you know?
Those are banned.
Yeah, I'm scared about here.
Hornbeams.
Proposing to remove those flower window boxes.
Well, they weren't there originally. I think I will because most window boxes I see, they just have dead plants in them.
Cause damage.
And then I'll just, I'll say I'll have something up front.
Yeah.
That can be part of it.
And then as far as the door, so that's the one, if we're gonna separate the door and the windows up front as a separate conversation. The one thing for clarity, your goal, you guys would be in favor of it. Your goal would be that the new door frame is not taller
Yeah.
than the window frame,
That is my goal.
and that would still support an 80-inch door. Okay, that's clear, and I think it will.
Okay,
We want to verify.
we want to verify it.
That's fine. That's fair.
So we're gonna split this into two parts and I'll need a motion for it. Part A is gonna be replace existing siding real lap wood to match, with real lap wood to match the original siding material with firm profile and demolish the rear wall. And replace the windows with sliding glass doors, replace with windows and sliding glass doors as shown on the east side of the wing and on the north side of the wing and the east side of the back. Add siding to the cinder block structure, we're gonna drop that, replace existing windows, we're gonna verify, replace the front door, we're gonna verify that.
Later, Red. Did you say that?
Thought that was gonna be staff approval, but move on. Okay. Motion?
Read it all again.
We need a motion.
Yeah. Motion.
I move for COA 2600-108, 878 South Lazelle Street.
Mhm.
To be split into application A and B. A is to, place the existing sidewalk, siding with real rock wood to match original siding material, curb profile, and to, yeah, partially demolish the rear cinder block wall to be replaced with windows and sliding glass doors. Removal of concrete strip in front of building for landscaping.
Mhm.
For B, we are.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We have a motion on part A.
COA 2600-108, 878 South Lozelle Street, Part A. To be approved as submitted, a split, amended, and split. Things.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Do I have a motion on part B to continue?
COA 2600-108, Part B, move to continue.
Second,
Second.
all in favor? Aye. Motion carries.
So question on process. For the staff visit,
Mhm.
do you need in the property or whoever comes?
Typically, yes. We can do it from the exterior, and since it's one story, we might be, as long as we can access it from the outside. we
That's
might-
storms.
If it's got storms.
Yeah.
Typically, when we do site visits, we do go inside to look at the windows.
Were you just looking at the front ones? And you said about storm windows?
Well,
The storm windows are on the exterior.
Right, which is why,
Yeah,
which is why she should have access.
Okay,
Staff should have access.
so you reach out to me, I'm just.
yes, I'm going to reach out and coordinate, and then I'm also going to coordinate with commissioners, and we'll do a single site visit, to see one who wants, to come, and I'm sure we don't have time, but it'll be me and then another
So that,
staff member.
I like, you going to go too? Yeah. So it's a group meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just won't be able to take action, but just to view, and I'm gonna try to remember to bring a tape measure, so we can get through the door.
Yeah.
Everybody can do comment.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Patrick. Well, honestly, unless if it's a quick answer, and the answer is overwhelming yes.
I don't think it's gonna be an overwhelming yes, but that's,
Honestly, if you're, I mean, I just was like, if we can't, I mean, this problem is a little bit more challenging than I expected. And, you know, I think if we can get the real person door in there, I won't even consider a second floor, but I thought if that was the only way to get it, I might come back for that. So that's kind of where I was going with this. I told them that too. I said, if we can get a human-sized door, keep the existing windows and do what we want in the back, I think I'm good. So we don't need to spend any time on the conceptual, I guess.
Okay.
So would you like to withdraw the conceptual then? So that means we're not discussing, we're just kind of taking it off the table.
Yeah, I think, right, Joel? Yeah.
that makes
so.
sense. Okay.
We can have something different.
Okay, so yeah. See where it goes, okay. So item 11 is withdrawn by the applicant.
We'll cut your name shorter, a little bit shorter, something.
Oh, I don't know.
For your time.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. You.
And we have to go back to life.
All right, so I'm just gonna confirm, we're moving on to number 12.
Number 12.
Yeah. And I'm asking, so like, I had a pamphlet here with what I think we should be talking about, and I did not print that out. Oh. All right,
Item COA 2600064 588 South Third Street, conceptual, right?
correct.
Correct.
So
Do you want to swear and tell the truth and all the truth and nothing but the truth?
Order. And this has been interesting because I used to be on your side of the table for 10 years.
Yes. Yes, we were.
A long time ago, many years ago.
So did we swear her?
Yep, more or less.
Oh, yeah.
It's conceptual.
I still think, I want to make sure we're not getting in trouble with the city attorney office.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, thank you.
State your name. Thank you.
I'll be able to sleep soundly.
There you go.
We'll be coming
Are you a
up.
lawyer?
This
Are you a
application,
lawyer?
No,
Okay, lawyers don't have to do that.
all right, this application is the conceptual review to install various 3-foot to 5-foot wood carved gnomes in the greater Denver Village area. Gnomes would be installed adjacent to local businesses in the area. Example locations are Frank Fact Park, the German Village Meeting House, Frau Haven, German Village Coffee Shop. Gnomes would be placed June through December 2026. The proposed gnomes will be in their location approximately 6 months with final location to be determined. Staff recommends the commission will keep action the applicant to further refine the proposal for review at future hearing. The basis for staff recommendation is city code 3116.13, the state of safe improvements, as well as city code 3116.11. Doing those for alteration and the German Village guidelines under similar consideration.
Thank you.
actually, it was kind of nice to hear the German Village guidelines because I was on the commission and wrote the forward letter for the first guideline.
Yeah.
When you're mentioning it tonight, I'm kind of sitting back there like.
Absolutely. Yep.
That was a lot of work. Well, thank you very much. I won't take too much of your time. But I do hope to come out of here a little bit heavy on the conceptual, because we're moving on this. But, I'm a past president of the German Village Garden Club, which is not a part of the German Village Society because we don't have an address. We have a post office box. That's why we use the society name. But I'm representing the German Village Garden Club in our community beautification program. We've been in organization for 60 years. And we have been before this group when we put the 3rd Street planters, the large planters down 3rd Street. And most recently doing Frank Fetch Park, we were before the Arts Commission there. In fact, I was at the Arts Commission last week and they only had a quorum of 2. So I did a presentation there of this. And the 2 members that when I left said, keep carving. They didn't want me to stop, so they're calling us back, but that was their bottom line. But the Garden Club, as you know, is a very creative, visionary group. Every 10 years, we've done something in the community beautification program of the German Village. We have enhanced projects this year that we have going on all the time, like the Garden Mark Mother's Day weekend, which provides our funding for planting in 12 months out of the year, Frank Fetch Park, and all the 3rd Street boxes. What we're doing this year in celebration of our 60th, in addition to enhancing some programs, we've come up with a public art installation. And it is temporary, not permanent. We have chosen, we went and we're looking at several different things, but we have chosen a gnome because it's Germanic and because it's gardening. It affects the gardens. And in Germany, they actually, when they got into the gardens and back in the 1600s, they were actually to bring them good luck in their gardens. So they had a little bit of a history here. Probably less in the United States than over in Europe. But that's why we chose the gnome. But why did we pick that for this particular initiative for the Garden Club? Well, we looked at other cities to see what they had done. Like Louisville, you have the horses, and Chicago, you have dogs, and Miami, you have flamingos. You have various in our research, various big cities that their projects, their public art project actually got started with a small community organization or a community. And then it just kind of blossomed from there. So it was a great tourist attraction. And those are all permanent, and that's great. But we are solid on this being a temporary project for us. we're hoping that this brings in not only the regular tourism, but tourism to the Columbus that's new. During our program, we hope to, we will have a website called The Gnome, and it will be opened up worldwide. So anybody that's coming in from the foreign countries and they want to look up Ohio, they might find The Gnome. There'll be lots of catch places going on there. But lots of different things that we have outlined and we have in place that are going forward as far as marketing is concerned. The gnomes are 3 foot and 5 foot. And as I brought some additional copies because we did have, as of last Friday, we had additional people, businesses that signed on. We had chosen businesses to highlight these gnomes to either adopt a gnome or sponsor a gnome. And the reason we did that was because of security and because of lighting, but just because it's a place that we feel that would be easier for tourists to come in. And as I said, again, a tourist information piece. These gnomes are being made or being carved as we speak. And there are 2 pages to that. I didn't get them stapled. These gnomes are currently being carved by Ohio craftsmen up in Northern Ohio. They are being done now. And they are, those are examples of the ones that he's doing. And they are being shipped down here in the end of March, early April, and they'll go to artists, community artists that have been signed up and willing to make these into outstanding gnomes, very creative gnomes. For instance, I met with St. Mary's School last week, and they have anxiously adopted a gnome. Now, you adopt a gnome, which means you own the gnome, and at the end of our year, December 31, you can take that gnome wherever you want. Now, St. Mary's wants to put it in their schoolyard, of course, not out on the public right of way. But if you foster a gnome, that means that come September, we will have a gnome gala, and that foster gnome will be up for auction. So we'll have a public auction at that point. But the gnome will be in place until December 31. So we're going from June 1, when we do the unveiling, to December 31. That's our end date for sure. Today, we have, from that list that I just gave you, we have 10 that are signed up, committed to gnomes. 9 of those, as you look from that list, are only in German Village proper. Some of those are actually in private properties of those also. So the reason that we're here is for those places that we might need to have some space outside their door. And I'll give you an example, like one of my favorite coffee places or breakfast places is a coffee house on Thurman. And their door is right up. You have the cement sidewalk right there. And the owner says, well, how can I get one? Arts Commission last week told me that they really recommend that we not attempt to drill into the sidewalk. The gnome will actually have a prop that will go up the bottom of it and will go in the ground about that far to stabilize it and wherever we put it. But at the coffee house, for instance, he said, how could we do that if we don't drill into the sidewalk? And he's come up with the idea of having a container out there, filling it full of cement, and then putting this gnome in that. And so that's his suggestion. I think it's pretty good actually, because he really wants one. But anyway, our gnomes are going to be identified by name. They'll have a nameplate on them, small nameplate to have the gnome's name, and we'll have a QR code that will take them into the website to give them a bio of that gnome.
We'll give them a map of all the gnomes in the community. The gnome community is Livingston Avenue, Parsons, 2 streets south of Thurman, and High Street. Chocolate Cafe, Planks on High, Planks on Parsons, the coffee shop, and then Third Street, of course. We have the Mohawk in there, G. Michael, we have Hot Rod Haven. So that's our community. We didn't want to go any further because we want this to be walkable, and safe for everybody too. So that's what we're doing. What do you think?
Are the notes, they'll be painted then?
Yes, they'll be painted. The artists are
The
going to
artists will
paint.
have that.
Are you familiar with like the flamingos and the pigs and the horses? They'll have artistic freedom. Now, if someone adopts a gnome and they would like to have maybe a little bit of a flair of their business, and I'm sure the artist might do something, but they're gonna have freedom to do whatever. Do you have any problems or any questions?
Find a 1 year or 6 month specific duration for this.
As we just decided that, our garden club is 100% volunteer. It has been for 60 years. I'm the historian. I can tell you stories that you don't want to know about. Things that the club has done. But I will say that we're burned out by just handling and making money for the Frank Bench Park and Third Street. Boxes. Our money comes basically from Ardemark. And I will tell you something, during COVID, when everything was shutting down and we have the garden mark, well, what do you do? So Jim Shakaris, who is actually co-chairing this with me, and he's in California, that's why his name is on it. He had to go in business, and so you're stuck with me. But he came up with this idea for Garden Mart to do an online drive-through. And so people, actually next week, you'll be able to go on our Garden Club website and go into the shop area and order your plants, pay for them. And then 2 days, 3 days before Mother's Day weekend, you'll get a note from him saying what time to come and drive through at the meeting house on the street. Don't get out of your car. We load up your car and you go on your happy way. But on Saturday, we do have an open garden mart. It's well known. It's actually a flower sale of some kind, goes back all the way to Schiller Park when they sold geraniums on the steps at the back of the recreation center down there. I have photographs of that. So it's kind of mushroom, but that really helped us quite a bit. So it's a matter of money and security and our staff. I mean, in all who makeup, we have someone that's assigned for security. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means that someone's going to be going around every other day or so, maybe 3 times a week, to check on all the notes, just to make sure no one's doing any damage to them, check them with the owner, where they're located at, just our own security. So
now that calendar time frame.
I'm sorry?
Now that time frame makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah,
It takes a lot of
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, because it seems like a lot of effort for a short duration.
Yeah.
it is, it is.
So the goal is that when you sell them or auction them, that will be a fundraising effort.
That money will be going into our community beautification.
That makes sense.
Yes, absolutely.
So, Carol, my concern is these are absolutely targets for getting swiped,
For what?
for getting swiped. I mean, I don't know, just a heads up, they're gonna disappear unless you figure out some way of anchoring them down better than just a rod into the ground. My suggestion would be looking, and this kind of helps us too, looking at a cast or precast concrete base that they're mounted to, like
Yeah,
Something real heavy.
something, a couple of 100 pounds
yeah.
of concrete.
That's similar to what the container is.
Yeah.
That would be putting cement in and then putting that rod in the cement, so they would have more than the gnome.
And as long as the gnome can't be lifted up off the rod.
Yeah,
you're-
no, they can't, no,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I would suggest you guys come up with a standard base detail design so that they're all alike.
Oh, no, they're all different.
No, not the gnomes, the base.
The base.
Oh, the base,
Yeah.
oh,
That
So
would
you got
also,
a standard base that kind of guarantees you're getting something that's gonna hold them down.
that would help something to put the barcode,
yeah.
the plaque on it.
There is a platform that's going to go down, but quite frankly, and this Jim's information, I didn't have that, I'm sorry. Whether that was wood or what that was, I don't know. Because the plaque is not going on the gnome, it's going on that base.
You need something to put these on that's just gonna
Yeah.
make for a moment.
Yeah.
And in that case, to us, it just becomes furniture and art.
Yeah, I mean, we actually, the garden club, I've got them involved in the Ohio Association of Garden Clubs, and they're in 70-some counties, and we have some of those members that are actually wanting to come and pick up a couple of them at the end of the year, so they're gonna end up anywhere.
So make sure they don't do it after 2 months.
Yeah.
My kids are, they're gonna try to steal them.
I'm hoping that this website is really gonna be a kicker, and
Oh, I think it's gonna be great. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. My concern is that you've got all the ones you started with at the end of 6 months.
I'm sorry,
That you've got all the ones you started with at the end of 6 months.
yeah, yeah.
And I think the only way to do that is really get some kind of concrete base
Yeah.
that you can anchor them to and just make a couple 100 pounds.
What do I need to have from you? Anything before we land these babies?
My only thing would be take a little German village map and put dots on it. Where you're gonna put it, just so we've got that part of the record of where
Okay,
your intent was to be.
okay.
And that way I can also stamp it as part of it.
Yes, right, yeah.
I'm sorry?
I can stamp it as part of the approval, like, hey, this is where they're going, this is.
Okay, okay. But when we got all of them done, is what you're saying? Whether they're
If-
private or public?
If you know the locations,
Yeah. so we-
before they're done, we can approve the locations, because.
Yeah, that-
We're an architectural review board, but we don't have purview over the design art. just-
Yeah, that's the arts. Yeah, and I do have to go back to them.
Just locations. So as soon as you got locations, get it through.
Locations, that's it. Okay.
Well, in order to get it through, they'll need to come back here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we'll need to, even need a deadline.
the list might grow up.
Oh, it will grow.
Good.
We're actually hoping to have 15 or
Yeah.
20.
Yeah.
I think that's great. They will be placed in the right of way in most cases, so is there,
Is there gonna be issues right away?
I think, I
That
know,
would be-
and I,
Not too many.
Yeah, you might wanna ask, because,
I think you have to apply. You have to have
Yeah.
a permit typically to put things, like when I've placed planters around downtown, you have to have a right of way approval.
That'd be
Yeah.
great. Hey, did the restaurants have to do tables and chairs and stuff?
Yeah, you have to have
I know
an
that that's the-
application
Yeah.
to go through the city for
And check
anything
out
placed.
the
Yeah, just make sure
definition
you're
for the right
ready.
of way.
Yeah.
What that is.
Because all these properties are gonna be at a different spot on all of them, so some it might, like St. Mary's, if it's in their lawn.
Yeah, a lot of them are gonna be.
Yeah,
On or near the
Yeah.
sidewalk with the
Yeah.
right of way.
Which would be the right of way in most cases, you're in the public right of way.
but coming from a place where from Beaver Creek, where we had
I know Beaver Creek.
9-foot tall
Yeah,
beavers,
yeah.
it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love it, so.
And they're still there.
They're also there, yeah. I live right near, my parents live right near one of them, so I see them every time.
Yeah.
Anything else? Dave? Anything else?
we're just temporary nouns.
I know.
Anything else you need from us then?
I'm sorry,
Anything else?
just, making sure that we cross all the Ts. And, when we have the complete list done, then I'll contact you and give you a map of where they all are. And you think it'll be necessary to come back, or will that be,
It'll
staff,
need to
staff
come,
approach?
come back. I don't have, the purview to staff approved
Or
that.
notes?
No, no,
That's
unfortunately.
written into the guidelines?
No,
Harold,
no.
take the map and not only include the ones that you know you've got, put ones on that you think you're gonna have, so we can go ahead and approve the locations all at once.
Okay,
We're not gonna be that picky. We just have, it's just procedure,
okay,
so, you know,
I'll probably staff recommend it, so if we have a business meeting and if we have quorum.
we could do it even there,
Staff
or just to get,
Okay.
get it done.
And I
Just
just
get
want
it
to
done.
add that that'll be required to
I'm
get,
sorry?
that approval typically is required then to get your actual permit to put something in, like
Right.
downtown.
Right away.
Yeah, for the downtown commission and get that approval before it gets done.
To do its best.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Well, it's fun.
Very, very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I hope you come on a stroll through the
Oh, yeah.
summer sometime, but
Yeah.
thank you. Thanks. And thanks for keeping up the good work you do.
Thank you.
The arguments that you had up here, they were really some that I remember back when, but, the one on Third Street, the doctor, and his wife, that was interesting.
Jonathan,
John.
the architect, yeah,
And Jenny. that,
yeah.
Yeah.
That whole connection thing was quite interesting.
Yeah.
Society was even more interesting.
Yeah.
But fence door. That's around the corner where I live, and that house is, I mean, I don't know what it was in the very beginning. It's always been a shamble, you know, look like
Hot thing?
somebody that should be in the neighborhood up there, so, you know.
Just to remind you, we are still live.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. You've been captured.
Yeah, and just like, okay, the screen is projecting for what I need to see. So I'm doing that.
So back to item number 9, 609 Mohawk Street. Do we have anybody for 609?
This is the applicant that is unable to make it this evening. They are hoping that, the commission would just not provide any feedback, and we're hoping for approval in lieu of that meeting.
Okay, so I have to recuse myself from this because I live so close, but I put in a speaker's packet.
All right.
So 15 years ago, this house, the front windows, the one on the right, was the actual front door to the house. And that is why they get a electric light fixture between what used to be the door and the window. And I don't know, number one, why the commission approved converting the door to a window, and why they didn't take the damn light fixture off the front of the house. So that's the history there. In recused position, my recommendation is they want a gas light, it should be down by the side door to denote the doors down there. Karen,
So could I, well, Karen, do you want to start us off and I can leave the staff if they go into the record?
Yeah, we have no one to swear in or. Let's see, so this is item number 9, 609 Mohawk Street, Nicholas Logan owner.
Yes.
I guess we'll have staff report.
Yes, this is a request for action to remove and replace the existing electric lantern with a gas lantern. The new lantern would measure approximately 16 inches tall by 9 inches wide. I did clarify with the owner that there would be 2 lanterns, one on the front of the house and then one next to the door. And there's a photo that's got the square on it with where the lantern would be approximately. There's currently a single lantern on the front of the property behind the bush. And staff would support a second lantern placed by the side entrance and placed in the appropriate level. and installed into the mortgage joint and not placed in the brick. Staff does recommend approval of the application of the new lanterns, leaving similar to the existing five, and clarification was provided when the placed, has been provided, drawings submitted to staff, prior issuance certificate, but we do have the basis for staff recommendation in city code 3116 from 11 field days for alteration, as well as the German village guidelines in ornamentation, trim, hood molds, shutters, and multiple stores.
So where's the second one going?
So one is going here,
Yeah,
and then if you go to the front photo,
was it where the flag holder is basically?
that. I'm not sure that's.
Oh, it's getting more flames.
Yes, so that, they want that one to be gas. As, Commissioner Thiel had noted in the speaker slip, there was a door.
Door
from that,
now.
yeah. So that was why that's there, which that background is very helpful.
Yeah.
Understanding what's going on here, but I think the applicant says that it's an existing condition. They want to just kind of swap it out, provide some additional light, as well as get that light by the door on the side.
My speaker slip hasn't expired yet.
Are you timing myself?
Yes, I've only got 1 minute in so far. We denied a gas light on the front of the house, not by a door on Sycamore Street a couple months ago, so.
Yeah.
Is it? Absolutely no reason to.
Yeah, I think, certainly approval for the one by the actual door makes sense. I suppose they keep the lamp that they, I don't know, that's a odd thing.
Well, we need to discuss with the owner what he wants to do.
Yeah.
It would be best to continue this.
Yes,
It would be best to continue it, but I think we're mostly in support of the lantern next to the current door.
yes. But not out.
I would be afraid of putting gas lantern with all of that existing landscape.
Everyone said that electric lamp should have been disposed of.
Do we have a motion? Motion to continue.
COA 26000 111-609 Mohawk. We did continue.
Do I have a second? Second. All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? I split.
Is there any new business? Old business.
No new business.
Do I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second? Second carries, we are adjourned.
Well, I have to go finish.